I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
Wait!
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
Gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead. Shoot.
You just killed those fucking men.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Alright, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's see who we have in the chat right now. We have J. Colt, Davon Williams, SSC, Nightmare, Team Batman Boxing, Alfredo Contreras, Rick Kirk, Alejandro Solis, and then we have a super chat. Let's get to the super chat right now. Alright, so we have Rafael Garza with a super chat. He says, with Benavidez draining himself to make weight, that makes him more susceptible for a knockout. And Andrade not draining himself to make weight. Okay, so that's a good point there. Will that help Andrade's stamina, the battle for payday? I do think Benavidez is struggling to make weight. So that might play, that might be a factor in the fight, to be honest. A lot of people are predicting that Benavidez is going to go down. A knockdown, not a knockout, but a knockdown. So it's going to be interesting. I'm getting a bit hyped up for this fight, guys. I'm not going to lie. All right. Let's see if BDA is here. By the way, we're going to continue taking your predictions down. The phone lines are open. Don't be shy. Call in. The number is not on your screen. Let me just fix that. And hold on. All right. Who do we have? We have Gonzalo and BDA. BDA, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Can I just turn off right off the bat? Because I don't know if
Wait, come on. Your volume is a bit low, man. And I already have you at 100, over 100%.
Okay. How about, yeah, because I got to be careful, though. How about now?
Yeah, it's better.
Sound now? Yeah. Because what happens is if I don't sound high enough here, but then you listen to me on the YouTube stream, and it's fucking hot mic all over the place. But I'll be brief. I'll say this. I was rewatching some of the clips here that I have from Andrade and Benavidez. I think I want to make a distinction right off the bat. I think Andrade has, and I've been maintaining this for the last couple of months, he has more complicated footwork, meaning he can cause more problems to his opponents. But if I were to have to teach a guy how to box, especially from the back foot perspective, it would be Caleb Plant, because he's just more technically proficient. He's got his legs in that U shape, so he's got him curved a little bit so it looks like a U. So he's more grounded in a way. That's why I think his left foot, when he really wants to, packs more pump. But the other thing is this. Caleb Plant is more explosive with his feet now because he's younger. Demetrius Andrade is 35. No matter how gifted you are, no matter how quick you are, no matter how hard you train doing the plyometrics and jumping up on a bunch of plywoods and all that, you're never going to be as fast as 35 as when you were 28, 25. And so he's still very good. He's still very quick. He still likes to shuffle around the ring. But I think I was overrating his speed a little bit, his foot speed. I think it's gonna be good enough to sort of give Benavidez problems, but I don't know if it's good enough for him to run around the ring for 12 rounds and make it to a decision. I'm not sure anymore. I don't know what everyone else thinks.
Gonzalo?
I'm listening. Those are great points. Benavidez is basically going to be walking him down. So, I mean, if he really wants to run, he can. But, I mean, the dude, Benavidez got long legs. He's still going to be able to keep up with them. Yeah, I agree. Caleb Plant, more explosive with the footwork. He pushes out that back foot quicker. So, that's all I got to say, I guess. But great point from Mr. PDA.
All right, guys, let me just
Thank you, Gonzalo.
update the predictions. I have the list that Mr. BDA gave me here. There we go.
Yeah, what are the predictions?
Mhm.
Yeah, what are the predictions?
Gypsy says Andrade by unanimous decision. Jerry from Baltimore says Benavidez by decision. Oh, Coach Eddie. Yeah, Coach Eddie says Andrade. He's the only one that's picking Andrade so far.
No. There's more. There's
Oh,
more.
no, it's Gypsy and Coach.
Actually, hold on. Sorry, I gotta clarify a couple of things here. There's two people. I forget who the other one is, but Gypsy just left a message in one of the community posts. He is going with Benavidez now. But I asked him, I don't know if he replied, but I told him, you know what, let's just wait until after the win. Then you'll make your prediction, because he seems like he's a little bit all over the place right now.
All right. Let's take. Do you hear echo?
No.
All right. Let's take a phone call here. 336. You're on the air. 336.
Yo, what's up, guys? Bucho, one thing. You were talking about how Japan exports a lot, and that's true. But if the yen appreciates too much, what ends up happening is only the consumer benefits in the short term. And these huge national producers can't export shit. That means there's no consumers. So you have to have inflation.
Yeah, they're gonna export to China. Don't worry.
Economies.
They're gonna export to China. But go ahead.
Yep, but just everywhere, but sure. And then also, bro, it seems like you've been cucking for them Crips recently. Like, why you like saying we'll see what Benavidez? You know, Benavidez going to destroy Andrade.
I'm not sure.
Come on, man.
I'm not sure. I'm seriously, I'm not sure. I'm not sold on Benavidez
Caleb
yet.
Plant has faster. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, listen, Benavidez might be the real deal, but I haven't seen it yet. You already believe he's the monster or whatever. I think you're making a mistake. Because there is not enough evidence. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so if let's say these hypotheticals here, because we were talking with Compost about this yesterday. If Benavidez destroys Andrade, right, he would then have put himself a level above his peers like Plant, Andrade, Billy Joe Saunders, and probably Calvin Smith. Would you agree? If he completely vaporizes Andrade.
Of course.
Would you say that at that point that would be Canelo's best?
Well, not if he vaporizes Andrade. I mean, that would help. He's that case that he's like the monster or whatever. He already beat Plant. That's a good win. Now he's fighting Andrade. If he beats him, like destroys him, then all right. This guy's looking like the real deal.
Okay,
Can I say something about that?
Because then, what I don't understand is people, and yeah, I guess I am. We have to wait and see what happens. But like, I'm so confident Benavidez will destroy him. All these Canelitas are completely dismissing Benavidez' skills, and I'm saying if he beats Benavidez legitimately, not in a controversial fight against a 36-year-old Golovkin, if he legitimately dominates Benavidez, that's the best win of his fucking career. So all these people downplaying Benavidez are only going to downplay Canelo if Canelo is able to win the fight. So I don't understand why Benavidez gets so much hate, from Canelitas. It doesn't make sense to me, especially if they're going to fight. Why are you going to downplay what would be arguably Canelo's best?
I mean, I don't know who's downplaying him. I think most people are saying that they want to see more.
A lot of others are.
I think most people think that they want to see more from Benavidez. They want to see him being challenged. And
I mean, he's knocked out 7 of his last 8 opponents, and Caleb Plant only survived because he was able to clinch 60 fucking times. Like, if we're just looking at that objectively, if he stops Andrade, will he have knocked out 8 of his last 9 or 7 of his last 8 opponents or some shit? Like, dude, that's a lot to see there, man.
Yeah, but we talked about this. We were breaking down who he fought and everything. I mean, Don't act like we didn't talk about that shit. We talked about his opponents.
No, I'm not saying
you're focusing on stoppages now.
He hasn't been fighting like bums. He hasn't fought only bums and like soft
but
touches.
He hasn't been fighting he hasn't fought anybody like a really good, like a Plant. He finally fought Akil Plant, but before that, those other opponents. I mean, I know you think David Lemieux is a good win. I don't think he was. The guy retired right after.
I'm not saying it was a great win. It was just an okay win. Like
it was an okay. I agree with you. It's an okay win.
Top 10.
It's an okay win. You're saying it's a you're making it, but you're. Okay, listen. We're going back to circus. We talked about this yesterday. I don't think his record is that great. You think it's a very good record, right? And
I think it's impressive.
It's so great that Canelo's afraid of this guy.
He could have fought him by now. We'll just say
All
that.
right.
If Canelo wanted to fight him by now, he could. And the thing is, you talking about how he signed with the PBC. Fulton left the PBC to fight Fulton. So just because he signed with the PBC doesn't mean he had to sign with the PBC to make the Benavidez fight. If Benavidez went to Al Heyman and Canelo offered him a fight outside of the PBC, they'd make it happen.
There's a reason why Fulton left. There were no other options with Benavidez. They knew that there's some value in this guy, and they weren't gonna just let him go.
Maybe that's potentially true.
Well, like I said, maybe. So we don't know.
But if Benavidez spanks out Andrade, no one else is more deserving. And I hope Charcoal loses because then that's not a potential opponent for Canelo because that's a mismatch. I don't want to see that shit. The problem is Canelo's getting treatment like he's Tank Davis, and he's better than Tank Davis, which is why I don't want to see him in mismatches. He had after the Bivol loss, he took a 1 or 2 layups. The Jermell Charlo fight should never happened, and no other fight aside of Benavidez should be next. If we're being honest, if we're holding Canelo to the same standards as Tank Davis, we would be calling Canelo Alvarez a fucking cherry picker and a ducker. If we're gonna hold Tank Davis, if we're gonna hold him to the same standards, we got to keep it consistent. Like there's plenty of things to praise Canelo.
I don't think you can compare. Canelo's career is much like this guy. He hasn't really.
Of course, I'm talking about through the particular fighter of Benavidez. Of course,
that's how low it's gotten. So
now
wow. All right, so. I don't know what to tell you. Like, listen, there's always something that people are gonna try to find.
That's them.
The Benavidez
I wasn't
saga.
Sitting on him for unifying.
This fight's gonna happen.
We've got to make the fight.
The fight's gonna happen, and
I hope it does. It
will. And it's not like I don't even think Benavidez is that good, to be honest. He's a good boxer. He's a contender, and I want to see that fight. But people are making this out to be as if it was Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Or De La Hoya Trinidad.
No, I'm not.
There's
I'm not
best
saying
guys
that, but
in the division, and they're not fighting. It's an okay fight.
It will determine who's the best super middleweight in the last 10 years, though, since Andre Ward, even though he's a fraud. I would say this would probably put the winner of this fight would legitimately be at the very least a top 10 super middleweight ever. Probably more like top 6 or 7.
Right now, the best middleweight is Canelo. That's for sure. He has the best
super
record.
middleweight. Yeah, I'm talking about all time, but yeah, sure.
And then you're saying that if it's Canelo, then that's it. He gets that title of the best super middleweight.
Well, in the world, yeah, he would. And
not in the world. He's an all-time super middleweight. But let's be honest, super middleweight division has been crap. But whatever.
If he destroys Andre, you know why I do that? You know why I put that label on Benavidez? And this could be premature. I understand Caleb Plant beat a UK bum. And which he is a UK bum, and Billy Joe Saunders, a no-hoper again, and Callum Smith, who was coming off of a loss. I rate Benavidez higher than these guys. All these guys Canelo beat. I thought Benavidez would beat all of them, and he's going to show it.
These guys
he's going to show you the level above his contemporaries on Saturday. He's going to show it.
You call these guys UK bombs. I call
Darrell
is an American fucking hype job. Darrell is an African American hype job, man. That's what he is, man. He's an African,
hurt a 40-year-old Martin Murray.
American hype job.
Outboxed a Lemieux who had been knocked out by Golovkin. He's a UK bum, dude. Billy Joe Saunders is not that good.
God save the queen. God save the queen.
Shit.
Hey, Doris sounding like an LDBC guy. These UK bombs.
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you, Billy Joe Saunders is not that fucking good. He's not. How is it? He barely gets past Andy Lee, who had to knock down and barely won a majority decision.
Billy Joe Saunders is the UK Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah, he is 100%. Yes, he is. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You're a fucking cunt.
Absolutely. What
You're a
impressive
fucking
win if he
cunt.
got at the world level where you're like, wow, this guy's fucking special. What win?
And you're that fucking cunt,
None.
aren't you?
Zero. So Benavidez, put Andrade on a tree. Like, yeah, that's the guy that could beat Canelo. That's the best fight in the division and the best fight in the sport. Make the fight. And
So we know you hate British boxers. That's good to know. All right. Well, listen, Dora. Anything else? We gotta take more phone calls. No, I think he hung up. All right, let's take another phone call here. 323, you're on the air. 323.
Hey, whoop.
What?
Can you play that Andrade clip again, please? That's all I kept thinking about during the whole fucking press conference was that fucking thing BDA was playing.
I don't know. BDA has it. Sound.
He almost did it again. Almost.
Yeah.
Almost. Hold on a second. Let's see if we,
what the fuck was he saying?
Me again. Yeah, see you.
Yeah, that's so fucking weird.
You.
He sounds like an old man.
All right, that's
Today
all I
he
wanted
was
to
sounding
say.
like Mike Tyson. Did you hear
that's
that?
all I wanted to say, guys. That's it. That's my takeaway from this whole fight. I think I'm not going to buy it. No one I know is buying it. I talked to a lot of people. Nobody's fucking. Is it pay-per-view? That's what everybody asks me. Is it pay-per-view? Yes. That's fucked up. That's the fucking consensus around the board.
You also get
and I know a lot of boxing fans.
You get Jermall Charlo in the undercard.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't know.
I bet you the Caleb Plant slap is going to be more entertaining than that fight.
Yeah, probably. So I'm guessing you're not buying the. Are you buying the pay-per-view then, or?
Fuck no. No.
Right. Okay. I don't know.
Listen, I buy a lot of fights. I do, but this is it's a fucking disaster, man. I mean, what are they? It should be free. Just.
It's one of the last Showtime pay-per-views, though. It's one of the last Showtime pay-per-views.
I'm like, you know what? I don't even. I'm not even really thinking. Nobody even really got into the discussion about who's going to win, or because nobody cares. Like, no, this is how little I know. I know a lot of people that are boxing fans. I go to 2 gyms. I go to an MMA gym. I go to a boxing gym. Nobody fucking cares. I've never. I don't know. Nobody gives a shit. It's just fucking sad. $80. Who's paying this? Should have your head checked. You guys are, should do it just because you do a live stream and you get revenue from the channel, part of your business. It's your fucking job, sure. But other than that, what the fuck? Anyway, that's all I have to say. Please keep playing that clip. That's the fight, in my opinion. That clip that's it. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks for calling. Take care. BDA, could you just play it one more time?
It's me.
Yeah. Hey, BDA, did you notice that? All right, that's enough. BDA, did you notice that Benavidez in the press conference that happened today, he doesn't look nervous at all.
No. I think that Caleb Plant fight, which was a big event, at least in location, in the locale, I think that's helped him sort of get the jitters out. But now that's, I mean, I don't know if that's what you're going to ask, but does that mean he's overlooking Andrade? What do you think?
I think he is, and I think Andrade, I keep calling Andrade, I think he sees something in Benavidez. He's not nervous at all, like I said, and I like this. I like this type of mentality. I think if Benavidez was the one that was trying to get into fight mode, I don't think he liked how Andrade was behaving, how he was, just giggling and having laughing. He's like, no, this guy should be afraid of me. That's my interpretation. Who knows? But what matters is what will happen inside the ring.
Yeah, Andrade was started to talk a little bit more smack.
Yes.
Today, he was saying how he's gonna, it's gonna be a beating on the Benavidez family. So he was trying to buddy with Charlo, and Charlo he looked like he was out of it too, man. He looked like he just woken up, didn't shower, didn't brush his teeth. Pretty sure his BO was far from appealing. And but Andrade was trying to make it seem like, hey man, me and Charlo here are gonna put a beating on the Benavidez family. That's what he said. So I think maybe that lit a fire under Benavidez. I'm very curious to see how Benavidez looks at the weigh-in, because again, I think Andrade is a complicated fighter. He still has quick hands. He's shuffling around the ring and changing levels makes him a difficult target to hit, very elusive. But I think Benavidez ultimately has, once he gets going, he starts letting his hands go and those combos fly. He puts an amount of pressure on guys that most of them are unable to handle. But what if, again, I said this yesterday, what if Benavidez has struggled and been struggling and struggled to make the weight, and all of a sudden he tries to turn it up late, all of a sudden he realizes not as much,
didn't
gas.
he do that against Plant, though? Didn't he do that against Plant? He turned it up late? Or he didn't turn it up, but I mean, he started to really dominate in the second part of the fight.
Yeah, that's the thing. The one caller said, "Oh, you know, he struggled to land on Plant throughout the fight." I'm thinking, what was Plant bleeding by himself?
At the beginning,
his face turned into a pussy?
It seems like there were two type of fights: the first half and the second half. In the second half, that's when
exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys.
And that's what Andrade does. That's what Andrade does. It's first 5-6 rounds, he looks fantastic. Not even 6 rounds, 5 rounds. And then by the 6th, he starts huffing and puffing, and then it's a different fight.
Let's take another phone call here. We have 424. You're on the air, 424.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, man? What's your prediction?
Hey, I have, to be honest, I'm not really, excited for this fight. But I do have Benavidez winning this fight. In my opinion, it's because Boo Andre hasn't really fought anybody. He's to me, this is just my opinion, he's like a 35-year-old prospect. Hasn't really fought anybody.
Sad.
Benavidez, to me, he has power, good combinations, but to me, he's very flat-footed. He doesn't have good defense. And like I said, I'm not really excited for this fight. I'm just not. Who have both these guys really fought? Yeah, Benavidez fought Caleb Plant, but he hurt him in the last 6 rounds, but he didn't knock him out. I don't know. I think people overrate Benavidez. I think people overrate Boo Andre. I just don't think they're that good of a fighter, in my opinion.
I'm 100%. I agree with you. All right. So, what's your name and what's your exact prediction?
My name's Jesse. Like I said, I think Benavidez wins. But
decision?
My prediction, I'm assuming it's gonna go 12 full rounds. Benavidez wins by points. Come on, let's be honest. They all want Benavidez to fight Canelo. And to me, people always say, "Oh, Canelo's ducking him" or whatever. But if anything, I think that favors Canelo in that fight because Canelo's a natural counterpuncher. He would just counter Benavidez, and I don't think Benavidez has fought anybody like Canelo where it comes to power. Because Benavidez comes up to people because he doesn't respect your power. He's gonna respect Canelo's power, and that's a fact. I don't think he's gonna want to go toe-to-toe with Canelo, especially if Canelo's just gonna counter him.
I agree with that. All right, so Benavidez by decision, knockout.
Yeah, I think Benavidez will knock him down, but I don't think he'll win by knockout. I could be wrong, like I said, but I think he wins by by decision, by points.
All right, we got your prediction right there. Anything else?
That's it, man. That's it.
All right, man. Thanks for calling. Call back after the fight, all right? Take care.
All right, man. You guys have a good day. Bye.
All right. Another Benavidez prediction. And we have Anthony Lopez with a super chat. He says, Benavidez, unanimous decision. Canelo fight is next. All right. Let me write that down.
And also, Cesar says to put him down for a Benavidez win. Benavidez late stoppage, he said. That's Cesar.
Okay, Benavidez, UD, and then Cesar. He said what?
Benavidez late stoppage.
All right. Let's take another phone call here. 925, you're on the air, 925.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's
Kiki.
up? Who's this?
What's going on? It's Kiki.
All right, Kiki, what's up, man? What's your prediction?
The prediction I got of it stopping late rounds, Boo Boo, due to Andre. I just think Andre don't got nothing on the table. They're both C levels to my law knowledge. You know what I mean? I don't think Benavidez have done anything out there to say that he can knock him out. But just because he's so young and he has to prove from the last fight that he did with Plant, he could have knocked him out. I think he needs to prove and make a statement that he got to knock him out. But I think late stoppage, around 10th round, he'll stop Boo Boo. That's Boo Boo knows how to run and use the cuts. Because if you do the same thing Plant did, that's over for Benavidez.
I have a question for you, Kiki. How highly do you rate Benavidez? How highly do you rate Benavidez?
I give him 50%, man. He's not ready. He haven't fought nobody. He's not highly rated in my point of view. You know what I mean? He's not highly rated. I'm gonna watch the fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch the fight because I would like to see that.
If Benavidez doesn't stop, if he doesn't stop Andrade, what does that tell you about Benavidez?
Tells me Canelo's gonna knock his ass out, and I really want to see him win because I want Canelo to knock him out. For all the damn haters out there, just for that fact, you know what I mean?
Interesting. All right, Kiki, anything else?
Benavidez don't got nothing. Nothing. I just think stoppage, if Benavidez needs to prove himself from the last fight, he needs to prove. So I think he's going to go out there and try and knock him out. So I got Benavidez probably late rounds. Not that I want Benavidez to win, because that'll be hella fun. That'll be crazy. Both Benavidez go with a big L. That'd be crazy.
That'd be fucking terrible for them. Yeah.
I would love to see that.
I don't know because I want to see the Canelo Benavidez fight. So I want Benavidez to win.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a lot of. That's the only reason I'm rooting for Benavidez because I really want to see that. I don't want to see Boo Boo and Canelo.
Mean, nobody wants to see.
I would love to see Benavidez.
Yeah. All right. Well, we gotta move on.
I believe everybody wants to see that, right?
I agree. Yeah, everybody.
I believe that too. Yeah, I want to see that T-Tone. I mean Kiki. I definitely want to see that fight.
All right.
I like that two-tone. I like that. That's my new nickname, two-tone.
No, we already have a T-tone, unfortunately. But all right, man. Thanks.
Oh, God damn it. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate you guys.
All right, take care.
I'll be watching the.
Oops, sorry, man. Yeah, he's like T-Tone. I thought he was T-Tone, man. To be honest, he's like Kiki. Like,
I thought it was T-Tone because I thought it was T-Tone, right? But Kiki is fine with me. I'm cool with that, man.
All right, good call. And let's take another. Before we take another call, we'll read a super chat. Manny G with a crazy ass fucking picture of Errol Spence Jr. He says, "Sup Bucho, I got the mother by majority decision. The Monza. Sorry, the month. What's a Monza?
He doesn't want to be called the Mexican monster anymore. He wants to be called El Monstro.
The Monza. All right.
Yes, because Mike Tyson, Monta. Hey, you're the Monta. You're the Monta.
All right, Manny G, I'm adding you on the list here. Benavidez, Monta by decision. All right. Let's take another phone call before we continue with the panel. 347, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's NPR. How you feeling?
What's up, NPR? Prediction time.
Yeah, man, I got Benavidez by UD. By the way, as far as the Mexican Monster moniker, Plant bought the rights to Mexican Monster. He bought the rights to the name. So anytime it's used or promoted or something like that, fees have to be paid to him. That's the truth. It's like a total Donald Trump move over there.
It's copyrighted. Holy shit.
Anyway, yeah, he brought the copyrights to that name, so now he's just called the Monster. That's the reason why.
Oh.
Anyway, so I think for all those reasons that have been gone over and kind of articulated so many times that from Benavidez, from Andrade not having kind of a style of his own. It's sort of like a more grounded version of, remember Murky Sosa? Like he could hit you from wild angles, but it was once he ran out of a bag of tricks, it's like he was empty. And he never developed a style of his own that you could say, well, that is Andrade right there. And that's why we've had a hard time describing him. And I don't think that's enough. I think everybody has to develop a. You know what Benavidez looks like. You knew what Mike Tyson looked like. You knew what Larry Holmes looked like. And people develop their style, and it's unique to them. I don't think he's ever developed that personality. And so that's why I think he runs out of tricks. And so and that's it. And as soon as he runs out of the bag of tricks, he starts going into a bag of tricks again. It's like a series of things that he puts together. But it's never a consistent style that belongs to him. And for that reason, I think that Benavidez will wear him down. He's younger, and I know the weight drain is a problem. But I think that Benavidez does have the youth on his side. He's got the strength on his side. And Andrade he's getting old. But we've gone over that territory already. Anyway, gentlemen, I'll keep it, cut it there. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And that's it.
All right, NPR, thank you for that. And call back.
You brought
next
up a
time.
good comparison.
Yeah.
Murky Sosa.
Say it again, please. What'd you say?
I thought you brought up a good comparison to Andrade, Murky Sosa.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, he had everybody was all praising this guy. Thank you for noticing that, by the way. It's been a while. How old I am that I remember this. But you remember what happened as soon as he went up against Roy Jones, it was the end for Marcus Sosa. And we saw that somebody who has a better foundation, and I just think that it's not simply a style. I think David Benavidez has a better foundation in things. I know he does really dumb shit by crossing his feet, and I do agree that Andrade could clip him and knock him down, and while he's crossing his feet or in between stepping, there's a lot of dumb shit and squaring up. But the plant fight showed me that he was willing to give some of that up before marching him down. And in other words, early in the fight, you could see David Benavidez using a much more bladed stance and not doing as much of that, which was very impressive because that was a one fight switch for David Benavidez, where he was doing that shit his whole career, and yet a foundational thing, he was able to change it. He didn't get his feet crossed up against Platt, which would have been disastrous. He didn't do that. Anyway, God bless, gentlemen. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, take care, man. That was NPR with his prediction.
And then the NPR guy was trying to summon Boxing Chief with that Murky Sosa reference.
Yeah,
if you mentioned Terry Lewis or Murky Sosa, Chief is gonna come in.
All right. I missed a super chat apparently, so let me just go get it. It was Amok. He said Mirage needs to post proof he bought the pay-per-view. That's true though. If he's a true Benavidez fan.
I don't know. I would believe Mirage definitely bought. If he didn't buy any pay-per-view, this is going to be the one that he does buy.
I mean, he has a poster of Benavidez in his bedroom, so he will buy the pay-per-view. Don't worry, guys.
Mucho, is that confirmed?
I'm pretty sure, man. Yeah.
Okay.
We have spies.
I think so too.
Chris K with a super chat. He said Benavidez puts Andrade on his bike. Might not be fun. At least two top guys fighting each other. But is recognized the dark horse of the division. Yeah, recognize. Are you the dark horse of the division?
Yes.
Okay.
Can't you tell? Can't you tell by my voice? Listen to my voice.
Dark horse of New York.
I'm the brother, the dark horse.
Yeah.
The Black Knight. I'm the Black Knight.
Yeah, exactly. Selling DVDs.
Hey, can I say something about that? You know why I'm starting to change my I'm going back to my as always original impression or instinct is because, yeah, Andrade does some things better than Caleb Plant, that's for sure, but he's 35 years old. Plant at 20 or 31 or however old he was when he fought Benavidez, in his physical prime, peak, he was able to take that punishment. I don't know if Andrade's going to be able to.
Yeah, you're right. That I don't think he could, and I think he might early, but I even questioned that. But later on, for sure, I just, when I imagine that fight, I just see it getting to the point where he's so exhausted he gets stopped. And Benavidez punches hard enough, and he throws a lot of punches too. He's explosive. That's why I thought the caller, the NPR guy, when he brought up Murky Sosa, it reminded me of something. When he fought Roy Jones, which is like the exception, you could tell right away, right off the rip. I mean, that fight ended like in 2 rounds. There was a problem for Murky Sosa, who had like that kind of herky-jerky style of Andrade, and that was that he's not used to seeing somebody that fast, fast hands, right? Or a guy that throws that many punches.
At that point, Roy Jones had accuracy and speed. It's not like, explosiveness.
Right. He was better than Benavidez. Like, let's be honest, right? But what I'm saying is,
you down. Well, I get your point though. Like
Benavidez, like he's explosive, and what I'm saying is that could be a problem for a guy like Andrade, who's
something else. Something else that comes to mind. Recognizes mentioning the herky-jerky style, the last caller NPR, the bag of tricks. And talking about Benavidez when he unleashes the two-fisted assault. When you try to do too much, remember, Stu used to mention that it's true. When you try to do too much, sometimes you open yourself up more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things, if Andrade resorts to trying to do a little too much of that herky-jerky, and this dude's just getting off his combinations quickly, to where it's not only is he getting tired, but he's throwing his arms in different directions. By the time he regroups, he's getting pieced up again in the pocket, walk down, getting that pressure put in instantly on him, to where by the time he brings them long levers back, gets his feet into position to throw the body weight forward, he's getting pieced up and getting backed up.
I think the way that's what I was trying to explain. What you just said, Gonzalo. If you look at that, the Roy Jones and Murky Sosa, when he brought him up, because Roy was so explosive and Murky was he was always one of those type of fighters that try to do too much with that herky-jerky style, that as soon as he regrouped and a guy who was explosive was just too much for him. He was getting hit with a lot of shots. It was easy for Roy to hit him with a lot of shots. Again, that fight ended quick. It was 2 rounds, but you could see right on the first round that, a guy like Roy, who throws a lot of punches, was too much offense for him to deal with. And that's what I have a feeling is going to happen with Andrade. There's going to be too much offense for Andrade to deal with when it comes to Benavidez.
All right. Super chat. Kiki Boxing for Life says, I think he says, I want to fight Benavidez's dad. He has a big mouth. All right. Well,
why wants to fight Benavidez's dad?
Interesting comment there. Didn't expect that. We have another super chat from the Gucci Berserk. He says, put me down for Benavidez 8th round TKO. All right. I'm going to do that right now.
Okay. And by the way, speaking of Kiki wanted to fight Jose Benavidez Sr., Bill Haney apparently was texting Shakur Stevenson while being drunk. That's what Shakur Stevenson posted on Twitter earlier. So Bill Haney, he's got some explaining to do, man. Fucking sexting a guy in the middle of the night.
What?
That was. Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll get into that later, man.
Put me down for. I want to fight. I want to fight Bill Haney. Put me down for that. I'm serious. I'll fight him.
He should show up on our show.
Yeah, well,
he's around my age. I'll bust his ass.
Hey, you know what though? It's interesting. The narratives going into this fight is because I'm giving, like Doris said, why are you guys giving Andrade too much credit? I'm only doing that because I see that he can give Benavidez problems. But it's interesting when it comes to the narratives. If we give Andrade credit, people go, "Oh, you're a bunch of canelitas, and you just want to tear down Benavidez." That's why you're giving Andrade credit because you want him to beat. Okay, then you give Benavidez credit, and you guys get guys coming in here saying, "Oh, you guys aren't respecting Andrade boo boo skills. Put some respect on him." So it just seems like people, instead of focusing on the actual fight itself, they're more concerned about who gets more credit going into the fight.
That's what they love, BD. I don't know, man. Some of these fools are straight up weird, but if that's what they like, that's what we'll give them.
Exactly. We give people what they want here, man. We keep it spicy. We keep it spicy, like Gonzalo and Bucho say.
Keep it nice.
Exactly. I agree with that. We give people what they want.
To this day.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys, call in. Phone lines are open so we can take down your predictions. Like I said, like I told the caller earlier, I want Benavidez to win because I want to see that Canelo versus Benavidez fight. I think it's a good fight for boxing. I don't think Andrade is good for boxing. His style is completely boring. And so I want what's best for boxing. And I think Benavidez is good for boxing. I don't think anybody.
Unless Benavidez like destroys, if Andre like goes in there and destroys Benavidez, like beats the crap out of him, knocks him out with everything, stops him, yeah, then I want to see him fight Canelo.
Well, okay, so what if he struggles?
That's what I'm saying. Who wants to see that? I would say this. What if Benavidez struggles? I don't want to see that.
I still want to see it because all these people talking about Canelo's ducking Benavidez and all that shit's like, okay.
No, okay. I get what you're saying, but like in terms of like the action, right? Let's say he just barely wins, or he kind of lost, and they give it to him. Like, come on, Bucho, are you gonna really be interested in him versus? He's gonna be the guy that dethrones Canelo. Get the fuck out of here. He's got to make a statement.
I agree with you.
That's all I'm saying. He's got to make a statement win, and I think he could do it. I'm not 100% confident, but I think he could do it. If not, I don't think people are going to be interested if he struggles, and I don't blame him.
We have a comment here from Mirage. He says Canelo likes to fight opponents who struggled in their previous fight. Okay. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? Who I feel bad for in this too as well? I just thought about it. Everyone's bringing up Caleb Plant. Guy hasn't fought since March, since that Benavidez fight. He's 31 years old, man. He's at his physical peak, as I mentioned earlier, and there's no news about what's next for him.
Wait, who?
And the same goes for a bunch of PBC guys. They're all
he's been winning out of the ring, though. Out the ring, he beat up Charlo.
He slapped him. I just slapped somebody earlier here today, man. That's not a big deal to me. I hopefully it's not a big deal for Caleb Plant either. Like, oh man, yeah, I bitch slapped a guy. Come on, man. We do this every day.
He slapped him and nothing happened. And then he called after he slapped him. He called him a bitch. He said, "Bitch."
Yeah, right. Did he call him the N-word? Did he whisper the N-word too?
It's worse. He called him a bitch. He just said when he smacked him, when he put the oof in it, he went, "Bitch," and he said, "Don't you ever fucking touch my face again."
Recognize saying the word bitch is worse than the N-word. You got no respect for the plight of Afro-Anglos.
That's what I'm saying, BDA. It's even worse. He just called him a bitch, not even acknowledging that he's a man.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Does it mean does Charlo Jarmal look dejected?
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like he's floating. Gonzalo, he looks like he's floating, right?
He looks homeless.
I don't know. I feel like there's something wrong with that guy.
I don't laugh at nobody's misery, man. Let me correct that. All right. Here at BDA, we don't do that. I'm just saying the guy don't look right.
That's gonna be an interesting thing because Jose Benavidez he was fighting at junior welterweight at one point, so he's not a super middleweight. Jermall, on the other hand, though, 2 years out of the ring, a lot of distasteful living. Soiled living. He probably wasn't even training either. Like I said, hasn't even had a fight in 2 years. And he's talking like he just wants to get through this. And then he's already thinking about, hey, I'm going to get the winner of Benavidez versus Andrade. I don't know, man. It's how do you guys think it's going to look?
Versus Benavidez or versus who?
Well, his fights this Saturday. That Charles fight this Saturday.
He fights Benavidez.
I mean,
he wins.
Benavidez says he feels more comfortable at 68 because when he fought Crawford, he said he was weight drained. And I understand, I get that part. But what happened at 54 when he fought a small Danny Garcia with some power, but on the shorter end? He's like 5'8". Benavidez is taller. Jose, that is. So what happened there? I mean, that if you struggled at 54 saying that at 47 you weren't comfortable, then you probably weren't comfortable at 54. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Now let's say, but then you jump 60 and you're going all the way up to what, 68? Or I think it's at a catch weight of 65 or 63. Actually, it's not 68. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, he when he was young, we know the story. I mean, he was a prospect at 17, was sparring a lot of world champions, Manny Pacquiao. The youngest Golden Glove national champion at age 16, surpassed Muhammad Ali. It's like the youngest ever. Had like 200 to 300 amateur fights. Got shot in the knee. So it's all a matter of how he has adjusted to that. If he can fight with this newly found like limited abilities, but kind of like already like settled into that where he can adjust to that, it'll depend, man. But you know where Jermall Charlo surprised me when he fought Debriachenko. I didn't think he was that good. He put on a good performance against Debriachenko. If all of a sudden he can surprise us where we didn't think he could, like he fought that fight, we'll see.
Yeah, but I doubt he'll look as sharp as he did in that performance after 2 years under the ring. But you're right, though. That Debriachenko fight, that was a good performance from Jermall Charlo. I wonder if we'll ever see that guy again. I know we're probably going to talk about it later, but Matias is fighting Tony the undercard. That's another guy that, like Benavidez, is getting the boogeyman moniker, the monster moniker. The guy he's fighting, Ergashev. I mean, this Matias, they put him in there with all these tough, well-seasoned, at least at the amateur level, Eastern Europeans or Central Asians, and he's fighting another guy, another southpaw, who can box pretty well. So it's going to be interesting. When is the last time Matias fought? That was when
I don't
he fought
know. We should call him
right?
El Chupacabra. That's what I call him.
What is the Chupacabra's equivalent in Puerto Rico? It's Chupacabras as well, right?
Yeah. It's the same
Okay,
thing.
there you go. Okay, then Chupacabras. That's what we're going with. Oh, yeah, sorry, excuse me. The last time Matias fought was this February when he fought the Argentinian guy, Ponce. And that was, they pulled the guy out in between rounds early on, just when he was heating up. So he's been inactive too, though, because he fought once in 2021, once in 2022, once this year so far, and that's it, man. I mean, he's not exactly
trying to put him on the show.
Yeah,
put him on the show.
And they keep giving him the steady diet of Eastern Europeans. Those dudes are tough. I know he hurt and killed that guy, Dadashev. And Pedro Nayan gave him a fight, 2 fights. Yeah.
Yeah,
Matias, he's like, toditos son blancos. Toditos son blancos.
Just real quick, though, this dude, Ergashev, he hasn't fought since August 2022. So he's been out the ring for more than a year as well. So actually, he's been out for more than a year, and Matias at least had one fight this year. So I don't know, man. I'm starting to rethink my prognostication for a good fight this time.
The thing about Matias, you know, he's coming after you, and sometimes he's most of the time he doesn't care about getting hit. So it's very easy for him to get his distance down because he's not all about measuring you, trying to step in judicious, like carefully. No, he'll just get on your chest and start throwing punches. But that obviously allows the opportunity to catch him. That allows the opponent to catch him like way easier.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. Until he faces a power puncher, that's when he's really gonna be in trouble. If that dude Ergashev can't punch, that dude's gonna throw a lot of volume at you until he wears you out. And that's one of those things. Also, because he trains in the capital of Mexico, with the elevation being 5,000 meters high. Yeah,
Who
he's
does,
got that extra
Matias?
discipline. Matias, yeah.
Matias does? I didn't know that. I didn't know that he trained in Mexico. By the way, the guy he's fighting has 23 wins, 0 losses. So out of those 23 wins, he's got 20 knockouts. So at least on paper, the guy can crack. I've seen some of his fights on YouTube. He's well-schooled, southpaw.
Matias will fight anybody, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he trained
that's
with
the
El
one
Panda
thing. That's how
Nájera BDA. El Panda Nájera used to be the trainer for the Mexican national team, I believe. And
what's his
he
name?
trains with
Nájera?
El Panda Nájera. He's one of the best trainers right now
Oh, okay.
from Mexico. I even think he speaks English. Maybe he was a trainer for the United States team, but he has something to do with the Mexicans. But they live over there in the capital of Mexico or close to. So it's Matias, and it's also the other dude that fights at 35. What's his name? I forgot. El Camarón Cepeda. So they train together.
Yeah, that's a Pita trainer. I remember we didn't like it when he was when we were over at Repits and that the Cepeda's trainer was bigging up Haney and Haney, we don't even know how. Yeah, so he was giving him way too much credit, man. They were friends or something. But the point is, you guys were mentioning Matias. Does Matias have the style to keep fighting at 34, 35? That's my concern with him. Because like Gonzalo said, he doesn't mind taking shots. But we've seen what happens with guys like, what's his name? Jared Hurd. Yeah, they look good when they're willing to take punches, but then at 34, 33, 34, 35, all of a sudden, whoop, from one fight to the next, they just can't take the punch anymore.
He's going to get knocked out when he faces a power puncher. He comes into open.
He fought a power puncher in Jambalaya. You know, that Uzbeki kid who was undefeated. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I'll just call him Jambalaya. But he took some big shots early and then just wore him down. But that's my thing, though, is you can take the punches now, but there comes a point where these guys that just walk through shots, all of a sudden, when they fight one day, they look slow, their reflexes aren't there anymore, they can't pull the trigger, and that's because they just took way too many head rattling, snapping shots. Like Jared Hurd. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. We'll see how he looks in this one.
Right now he's a beast. I think he'll keep on winning for a while.
You bring up a good point, BDA. Remember when Margarito fought Cotto the first time? And I don't know if people remember, he had like an interview with maybe ESPN, and he was glassy-eyed, and he looked like he took a beating too. And then he fought Sugar Shane Mosley. There was other shit that happened, and then all of a sudden, it's like he couldn't take it no more. The beatings he used to take. He couldn't. He couldn't. It finally caught up to him, and he took a loss against Shane Mosley.
Well, you know what, Rick? That's what makes me laugh when people go, "Oh, that's the proof that Margarito had loaded gloves," which he never did have loaded gloves. They found traces. Oh, we'll be on to the story. But when people go, "Oh, he got exposed once he lost those wraps," he fought Shane Mosley and Manny Pacquiao. Can you tell me anyone that would have looked good fighting Mosley and Pacquiao? I know people are gonna say Mayweather, but even Mayweather didn't look good against Pacquiao. So the point is, he fought two guys that had.
He fought Cotto before that. So
yeah, exactly, yeah. So he fought two guys in Mosley and Pacquiao who hit as hard as he did, even more, and who had faster hands on top of that. So that was just a bad. I'm not saying that he would have won or that these guys are bumps, obviously, but the thing is, he was up against it. And even against Pacquiao, he gave Pacquiao hell by virtue of his stamina and his size. I mean, he hurt him to the body in the middle of the.
Pacquiao said, right? No. They're like, you made this look easy. He said, no. That dude hurt me. I don't know what you're talking about. He hurt me several times.
Didn't he say that was every point the hardest?
He said every punch he got caught with hurt him, if I remember correctly.
There you go. But that's a good comparison. Margarito too, though, man. He had underrated defense, but it was inconsistent defense. And then at some point, he just couldn't pull that trigger anymore because you take so many of those head-rattling shots, eventually your fucking reflexes get shattered. And when people think reflexes, they think moving the head, evasive tactics. It's also about pulling the trigger. That's why older guys, that's what they always say. They see the opening, but they can't pull the trigger. So if you take too many beatings, you get old.
Absolutely. No, it's like okay, just theoretically speaking, like I put 3 walls up and I want you to knock all 3 of them down. Okay, you knocked the first one, damn, that's impressive. You knock a second one down, you're like, fuck, bro. You try to hit the third one and you finally break your face. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the somewhat equivalent of that. You're fighting guys that are bruisers. Cotto, Shane Mosley, and Manny Pacquiao. What are they known for? Knocking people out. They're bruisers. So you're gonna lose some when you fight guys like that.
And this is after he got his orbital bone broken by Manny Pacquiao. The rematch between him and Miguel Cotto. So obviously, I mean, if he was going to get pieced up
fight,
and
he didn't want
fucked up
the
and
fight.
stopped, it was going to be that fight.
And even in that fight, he didn't want the fight stopped. You know, the Shane Mosley fights, he had no choice. Like the referee just said, "Look, bro, you know, you went down." But trust me, if the referee would have counted to 100, he would have tried to get up. He would have been like, "Let me start get my shit back together."
And also, Mosley had an incentive because he was getting divorced at the time, and his wife told him that's the last $1 million you're gonna make. So he said to himself, "Oh, I'm gonna go in there to win this fight for sure." Because he threatened me. It's not about Margarito and the whole situation with the hand reps. I'm gonna get the knockout.
Absolutely.
Oh, but Margarito had an iron chin, man. Maybe he put plaster of Paris in his chin too, right?
Well, I gotta say that I gotta say that's the most impressive thing about Margarito. Not only was he able to fight, but he was able to fight with his hands full of lime burns and all raw from putting, to torture himself. Because there'd be absolutely no benefit whatsoever in putting, dusting his wraps in Pastor Polaris other than, what can I do to make my hands raw and red and fucked up while I'm fighting? You know what I mean? It's just, anyways, that's out of all the boxing conspiracies, that's the one that just really grinds me the most because it's so absurd.
BDA, you got a sound clip. Margarito laughing at Cotto at the face-off, the 24, when he said, what do you mean not willing to die? Anytime somebody says, well, explain to me how he was able to take such great shots from Cotto and then knock him out. Just play that part. That's your answer. What do you mean?
I like how even Max Kellerman was getting into it. He goes, Miguel, he brings up a good point. Like, he risked his life or his health going the 12 rounds against Margarito, whereas you couldn't anymore. He's not normal. And Cotto was like, well, we'll see what happens. But that, as a fighter, that must ego a little bit. It's like, yeah, he's true, man. I mean, he stopped me and Pacquiao stopped me. They broke me, but fucking Margarito couldn't be broken against Pacquiao. That had to have irked him a little bit.
Yeah, of course, bro. Of course. You're a fighter, man. I respect all of these guys in terms of their fighting spirit. But, Margarito was a fucking... he was a lot of people's worst nightmare. Like, you got to kill him, literally, to beat him.
But just going back to it, so that type of style has a short shelf life. Because you're essentially real. I mean, again, Margarito, if you watch some of his earlier fights, he actually displayed good defense, good parrying, a good guard. But once he stepped up against these guys who had incredibly quick hands and on top of the power, they were breaking to his guard, and he was willing to just walk through it to wear those guys down. But that eventually, just from one day to the next, the performances fall apart. And the same thing with Matias. And on top of that, the other problem with Matias is inactive. One fight per year on that PBC plan. And now, the same goes for every guy on this card, by the way. What are they going to do afterwards? Because no news yet of what PBC is going to do in the near future. And that is, anyway, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but yeah, they're in trouble, man. So, Matias, that's an interesting
fighter. Sorry, but yeah, I would say for a pressure fighter, like the best thing to probably incorporate into your all-out offense is a good waist movement. Like Julio Cesar Chavez, he had great waist movement. He used to roll with the punches, dip under and around with the bending. So he had good waist movement. Something that some of these fighters don't have or should incorporate.
That's a good point. Hey, you know what? It could actually be also, do we apply that to Benavidez? Because Benavidez, actually, his guard, the punches, they slip up. What's the word I'm looking for? They bounce off the guard because he's actually got a dynamic guard. He's moving the gloves just in time so that the punch slides off it. He's not taking the brunt of the shock, just standing there blocking them. So I think because of that, he might have a longer shelf life. Also, he hasn't really fought any big punchers. I mean, don't get Lemieux. I mean, the guy was shot. I'm not saying past his peak. I'm not saying shot. That's what he was. Durrell, he could crack a little bit, but never really wanted to sit down too much on those shots. So, yeah, man. Kyron Davis, Ellis, Caleb Plant, maybe Porky Medina. That was really the big punch. But again, he hasn't fought guys that have hand speed and power. Not yet, anyway. So he hasn't really thinking too much.
I don't know about the Caleb Plant fight because he looked like in real good shape. But I'm saying this I'm saying that to say this. Before, like usually, like when he dehydrates, he's not in so great of a shape. That actually benefits him because not only there's muscle underneath that water weight or that extra belly fat, but that also protects you. That's an extra layer of protection that blubber, right? When you're like that huge because you're hydrated. Going back to the Alfonso Gomez analogy, like when you put a cup inside of egg, when you put an egg inside a cup. But then there's like no water and you start shaking that cup, that egg is going to break, right? For sure. But let's say you put water inside that cup and that egg is buoyant inside. It's going to like bounce off the walls and it's probably not going to break, most definitely. So it's one of those things when he's facing smaller guys and he's way bigger, he's taking that punishment like nothing. Kind of like Deontay Wilder said, when you're facing little guys smaller than you are, it's like baby punches bouncing off of you. You can't even move your opponent. So that's why he's able to take a lot of punishment too. He's a weight bully.
Good point.
Hey guys, sorry to cut you off, but we need to take a phone call here. 347, you're on the air. 347.
Hey, what's up, BDA? It's Drizzy Dro.
This is Bucho.
I just want. You can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say I got Benavidez by stoppage or unanimous decision. Benavidez, the youngest super middleweight champion ever, 20 years old, the most accurate boxer today. And he, like he said, he sends everybody to the hospital. So that's my prediction. Demetrius Andrade going to the hospital.
What's your name again?
Drizzy Dro.
All right.
Yeah, I've talked to this guy. I've talked to Drizzy. What's up, Drizzy? I've talked to him on my chats.
Oh, Drizzy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I can't wait for the fight, guys.
Hey, by the way, if Benavidez doesn't stop Andrade, what does that tell you about David Benavidez?
It just says that he doesn't have the big power, but you don't have to stop everybody. Pacquiao didn't stop everybody, but everybody looked like they were in a car crash. Even the ones that won, except for Mayweather.
All right, good point. All right, well, anything else?
No, that's it, man. Can't wait for the weekend, man. Enjoy the fight.
Thanks for calling. Take care.
All right, guys.
Is that true, Bucho? I know he sent a few people to the hospital, but did he send every single opponent he's ever fought to the hospital?
I mean, don't all boxers go to the hospital?
Yeah, I mean, they do. They do. They go for
checkup
checkups
or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
These guys.
I mean, there might be nothing wrong with you. They're like, you're okay. That's it. Yeah, take some Tylenol.
According to Bill Haney's dad, that's what he said. Oh, Lomachenko's in the hospital. That's why we won. He must have been hurt.
What a fucking idiot. Okay.
Like, how about your son? Did he go to the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking clown. He actually looks like Krusty the Clown with that haircut and that beard.
I'll knock his head off. I'll knock his head off his shoulder. Put it out there.
Shit. Yeah, there's something about something fishy. I don't know.
What the hell are you doing sexting a 24-year-old boxer that could potentially fight his son? If I find out that's true, I'm gonna smack the shit out of him. I've ever seen him in public. It's gonna go up to his side.
You know what's crazy about Devin Haney all of a sudden? He's fucking exciting compared to Shakur. It's true. I see it. Everybody sees it in a different light now. He's a fucking beast.
I said that to piss people off, but it was actually true.
It is true, especially after that last performance last Thursday.
Hell yeah.
History.
He actually won rounds against Lomachenko by throwing punches. So, yeah, he's more exciting.
I mean, say what you want about Haney. I don't. He has never looked like Shakur. Shakur looked. He was scared. He was scared.
100%.
That's. I mean, that's rare in boxing.
Dude, Bucho, he was flinching. De Los Santos, that is, was flinching. You know, you faint, you kind of faint. And he was throwing himself into the ropes.
Right.
It was the most embarrassing performance. If I was Bob Arum, I wouldn't resign him. You think that guy's a superstar? Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on. You think people are going to pay to watch that guy fight? And then after the fight, he says, "I'm not here to make excuses," and then he starts making excuses. Get the fuck out of here! I'll never watch a fight with him again.
Yeah, he was scared to unholster, to like release that left hand, man. He didn't want to trade left hands with De Los Santos, man. There's no way, because he was talking a lot of smack in the press conference. So you know that if there was an opportunity to be had, if he realized in the moment that this dude's got a quick trigger, he felt the presence of De Los Santos in the ring. But if there was an opportunity to be had where he can get away with beating this dude because he's more skillful, like in his mind, he would have taken it. But he didn't, because he realized the imminent danger inside of that ring. That's where he said, "Oh no, this dude's fucking dangerous." Man, and those commentary people, man, they're like totally biased. Not the co-main, but the fight before where the two African Americans were fighting, Bradley was saying, "No, that fight is fucking boring. They're not letting their hands go. It's a snooze fest." But when it came to Shakur, he's breaking him down mentally by not throwing punches.
Right. No.
Yeah, his power is for real. Yeah, his power is for real. Let me tell you, I just shut the volume off now. I don't even listen to it. It's so fucking bad. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe how bad and biased that commentary is. It's fucking terrible.
It's embarrassing. By the way, Chris K, thank you for your super chat. He says Shakira Twitterson makes Haney look like Triple G. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. It was terrible. It was horrible. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I can't believe that happened. Can't believe that happened.
It was like they were playing tag. I said this before, but it was like they were fucking playing tag in the schoolyard. It was fucking terrible, man.
Yeah.
And Uncle Tom Bradley, the power is for real. Fucking idiot.
Yeah. De Los Santos is afraid of. That's why he's not letting his hand go. What about Stevenson? Well, he's a champ. He's the one that should be taking care of this guy. The odds, I don't know how much the odds were, but Shakur was a major favorite, a massive favorite. And he was acting like he was fighting Mike Tyson in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then he had that stupid photo with him, Floyd, Andre Ward, and what's his name? Mike Crawford, saying 143-0. 3 out of those 4 fighters were the most boring fighters of our generation. They were the worst to watch. Except for Floyd when he was younger, but besides that, those guys were the worst fucking guys to watch on television.
Yeah, and did they show you those images of Shakur next to these other famous boxers, and they talk about how you're gonna witness something great and something. They build this up, and then you get to the main event, and it's extremely boring. I really think this hurts boxing. Because there's no credibility.
Of course it does. It's fucking ruined.
Joe, there's no credibility. There's no credibility. They don't tell you. They should have told us before the fight, like the commentators. For people who are like casuals, they should have told them, listen, you're gonna watch a technician. All right, don't expect fucking Mike Tyson, because the disappointment, I think, is the worst part of the whole fucking thing.
Joe, it's like they're WWE commentators, right? It's like they have no credibility. They're just selling for the company, and it's like, who the fuck is the producer of that show?
I know.
What the fuck are they listening to? Wouldn't they say, "Hey, what the fuck are you guys talking about? You guys sound like fucking idiots. You're gonna lose the audience." And whoever's bright idea it was to have the main event at fucking midnight on a Thursday. I mean, don't they understand these people got to go to work the next morning?
Yeah, it was on Thursday.
But who needs NyQuil? I don't need NyQuil anymore. I'll just put on a Shakur Stevenson fight. Knock me right out within 4 rounds.
By the way,
you talk about Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward. Who's the other dude that was there?
Crawford.
Well, it's with the exception of Terrence Crawford. Think about those two. And like I was also listening to Pro Box. You had Algieri. I like Pro Box, but a lot of their shit is freaking.
Me too.
You got Paulie Malignaggi, you got Algieri, you got Sean Porter. None of those guys were punchers, including the guys that I mentioned, with the exception of Crawford. All those guys are gonna play up that type of style. That's what, like, I was telling myself. No wonder these fucking dudes are defending this dude to the death, because that's the way they fight. And obviously, they're gonna give the credit to the boxer, but that shit is way too fucking biased.
Yeah, usually Malignaggi's pretty good at like calling shit out, but I understand what you're talking about with the style. Like he's real biased to that style.
Because we know why. We know why, by the way. All right, guys. Sorry to interrupt. We gotta take another phone call. 323. You're on the air. 323. You're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good. How are you? Give us your prediction.
Well, what fight you were talking about?
Oh, well, we're now on Benavidez versus Andrade.
Oh, I think Benavidez is going to win a decision on that fight.
All right. What's your name?
My name is James.
Sorry, what?
My name is James, sir.
Oh, you're breaking up, man.
All right. My name is James, sir.
All right, James, you said Benavidez by what?
Decision. He's going to win a decision.
All right. Playing it safe. All right. Anything else?
Well, I just wanted to say that the gentleman there, I don't know if he's Italian or from Boston, but I hear him all the time just complaining on the channel. Huh? He's talking about a young Mayweather. He don't appreciate no young. What kind of shit is that? He don't know boxing. Young Mayweather was a technician in there. What you talking about?
I said Mayweather was fucking great when he was younger, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. When he became Money Mayweather, bro, he put people to sleep. What are you talking about? Let me guess.
Now, let me tell you.
Let me guess. Let me guess. You're African. Let me guess.
Well, why don't you sit down, little man? Sit your butt down.
Okay.
Let a man talk.
Yeah, I forgot. You only got a few minutes because you're on a payphone.
Yeah, I'm on the payphone.
Yeah. Calling from the project. Go ahead.
Are you going to let me talk now, or do you want to keep on talking?
Go ahead. Teach me something.
Let me turn my oxygen. I'm going to turn my oxygen tank up a little bit because I'm getting riled up on this shit. let me tell you. Well, when he became Money Mayweather, he was also a technician, sir. If you can't hit him, don't mean that he's a boring fighter. Okay?
Who would you? I'm telling you right now. You asked the majority. All right, you ready? You asked the majority of the people on this show, who would they rather watch? Okay, pay their money, Manny Pacquiao or Money Mayweather? I bet if you put up a poll, 80% would say they'd rather give their hard-earned money to watching Manny Pacquiao fight than Money Mayweather.
Yeah, you mean the same guy that got knocked the fuck out by the Mexican?
That's what happens when you engage. That's what happens when you engage and you actually fight. That's what happens in fights. That's what happens in boxing. You can get knocked out. Muhammad Ali, the greatest fighter of all time, he got knocked out.
Lower your tone with me. I don't appreciate this shit. I'm trying to get my point across here, sir.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, Manny Pacquiao was a good boxer, good fighter.
Well, good.
But you can't compare him to Mayweather, son.
He was great.
No, he was good. He wasn't great.
Oh, really?
Lose against
8th Division World Champion? 8th Division World Champion? That's not great.
Get him, Joe. Get him,
Go
Joe.
ahead, Joe. Get him.
Get him, Joe. He's scared now. He's scared.
Perfect. He's good. He's not great. Winning 8th Division is not great. Your boy Floyd Mayweather couldn't even clean out a division to become undisputed. Get the fuck out of here.
He wasn't great, sir. He was okay. Everybody knows he was okay. Okay.
All right. We gotta move on.
Your accent sucks, man. Your
All right,
accent
caller.
is
Thanks for calling again. All right.
You embarrassed yourself, and you just embarrassed your community.
Please call back
So
again
go
next
back
time, right?
to the projects wherever fucking shithole that was, and go sell your bullshit on some fucking liquor corner.
All right, caller. Take care, man.
Sir, you're hurting my feelings now, sir. You're hurting my feelings. I was just calling about the prediction.
Toughen up! Toughen up! This is a fucking ballet. Toughen up!
All right.
Yeah. Toughen up.
Who was this again? Who called again? Fuck, I forgot his name.
I don't know. He sounded like an older ex, like ex who calmed down.
James.
Finally.
That was James. James. People think James from the Bayou. I don't know.
James, the Black Panther.
From the projects. Hey,
why do you put up that poll? Who would you rather give your hard-earned money to? Watching Money Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao? And I bet 80-90% will say Manny Pacquiao.
Dude, I would say Manny Pacquiao at any point of his career versus Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather was better.
Yeah, but of course he was. Listen, Floyd Mayweather ducked him for at least 7 years. We all know this. But put that poll up, Buccio, if you can, and we'll see who's right and who's wrong.
All right. Well, hold on. Rider of the Storm, thank you for your super chat. He says, if they fight, whose oxygen will run out first? And he's laughing.
Wait, who's he talking about? What fight?
Well, the guy said that he needed more oxygen.
Yeah,
oxygen.
Then I got Joe. If he needs more oxygen, then I got Joe all day.
Yeah, I don't have an oxygen tank, and I could go all night. I could go all night at this level. Do I sound tired to you? Am I complaining that I need to turn up the oxygen? Give me a break. I'm just getting started.
You know what the crazy thing about Pacquiao is, man? He never lost a fight where he didn't give it his all, and it got close, like really close. All the fights that he lost were super close, and he got some of those. He was robbed in some of those. Maybe did he get favored in some of them? Possibly with Marcus. I'm not sure about that entirely. But the ones that he lost, he always gave it his all. He never got fucking like run over, except that one time that he got knocked out. But every other fight, man, that dude never gave up. He gave it his all.
He was like a Terminator.
People that's what happens in fighting. You get black eyes, you get cut, you get knocked out. That's what happens when you engage in fights. I mean, to say that you never got knocked out is because you're not taking chances. You're not engaging. Come on, man. Fucking Roberto Duran got knocked out. What does that mean? That doesn't mean shit.
It's like mentioning Andrade and comparing him to like Shakur's performances. Now, Andrade always beats up the opponents that they got in common far worse than what Shakur do. Same thing with Manny. The same opponents he got in common with Mayweather. Manny beat the shit out of those guys. But when they say, okay, when they fought, he kind of used that chicken salt too. Fucking Mayweather didn't want to engage Manny. He didn't want to engage him. And a lot can be said about that. The fight was really, really fucking close, man. A lot of people thought that Pacquiao won too. If you talk to them people up in Europe and Spain, compared to like maybe the American biased media and the narrators who were calling the fight, they're gonna have a totally different opinion. I watched that fight, man. Manny Pacquiao was the dude that's coming forward, but that's a subject for another day, I guess.
Hey, let me ask you guys something, right? Remember when Lubin fought Fedora and Fedora ended up knocking him out. They called in the corner, called off the fight. That was like that was like in the running for fight of the year, right? And Lubin lost by knockout. I couldn't wait to watch Lubin fight. I was looking for when his next fight was. I couldn't wait to see that guy's next fight. And I remember Jimmy saying the same exact thing. He's like, I can't wait to watch this guy Lubin fight again.
Of course.
That guy put it all on the line.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a formula for success. If you're a boxer, you obviously you show your skills, an exciting performance inside the ring, and that's gonna get you far. But I don't understand why you have promoters that are obsessed with promoting certain fighters that are like obviously boring.
This generation, it's not. It used to be. It's not if you win; it's how you win. Now it's like, it doesn't matter how you win, just win. And it's just the totally opposite of what boxing used to be. People don't want to be this fucking snooze fest, bro. I remember watching so many Mayweather fights, and I'd fall asleep on them. I fell asleep halfway through the Shakur fight. Yeah, I really did. I passed out, and I'm like, you know. And from what I saw, he was losing. And then they give the decision to him. It's such bullshit, man. This is why, like I said, I keep on saying this. I never thought that the UFC would surpass boxing. I didn't think it was possible, but it has. It's replaced. It's the 5th major sport in the United States and in the world now.
Hey, Joe, I was going to mention, you said you had Shakur losing, I believe. You know,
yeah.
It's kind of rigged because if you add to the biased commentary the subjective CompuBox numbers, which are not accurate, you could basically throw a throwaway, a flick jab that barely touches, that skims the gloves. They're counting that as one of the 60 punches that Shakur landed. That's not accurate.
Yeah, you know what those CompuBox numbers are?
Connecting, man.
You know what those CompuBox numbers are? It's 2 kids or 2 guys in the control room. One has like a PlayStation controller for Shakur. The other one has a PlayStation controller for DeSantos, right? And then what they do is, it's like they play a video game. Every time that they see Shakur throw a punch, they press a button. Like they're playing a video game. That's what that shit really is. There's nothing in the gloves. It's just 2 guys watching the fight, and they touch a button every time one of them throws a punch. So those fucking numbers aren't even really fucking accurate.
By the way, I want to thank Rapax for re-subscribing to the BDA membership program. Appreciate that. Yeah, listen, guys. I don't know. I hate talking about Shakur, but still, I mean, that was. We're still talking about it because he was just horrific. You know, we're boxing fans. You know, we want to see. We watched that fight because we know Shakur Stevenson is a top boxer right now in the lightweight division. But holy fucking shit! Like, what does this guy think is gonna happen with his career now?
Yeah, and the worst was it was a Thursday night, and we're up till fucking midnight watching this fucking jerk off fucking play tag in the ring. I mean, come on, man. And the reason why we brought it up is because this dickhead called in from the, you know.
But what is going through Shakur Stevenson's head? What do you think is going to happen after the fight? Like, doesn't this guy think ahead?
He has all yes men in his fucking corner. This guy has like 3 managers for crying out loud. Each manager costs him 10%. He's got Andre Ward telling him how great he is. Jay Prince telling him how great he is. Floyd telling him how great he is because he probably wants to try to start him at PBC.
And this fucking idea of hit and not get hit, skills pays the bills. People gotta stop repeating that. People have to stop believing that shit because it's not fucking true.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Numbers don't lie. Numbers are not subject for interpretation. When people aren't showing up to his fights and people aren't watching his fights, I mean, if I was Bob Arum, I wouldn't re-sign him. Why the fuck would you?
Exactly.
Yeah, and even hold on. Hey, even if it was getting hit and not getting hit and not getting hit, you're supposed to basically try to attack first. It's called hit and not getting hit, not getting hit and hitting.
Yeah, you said that yesterday. It makes a lot of sense, man. That's the mentality. That's the interpretation. That's how it should be interpreted. By the way, Bray with a super chat. Thank you for that. He says, "Tell bro to calm down and stop yelling." All right. So,
Who, me?
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'll bring it down a notch.
No, it's okay.
The
man,
reason that it's important. Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm passionate. All right, I'll just put you guys to sleep and just
No. Keep it up. Keep going with it. That's
of course. You think I'm gonna listen to these fucking idiots? The only ones I listen to are you, BDA. Who I was on the panel. If you guys told me to bring it back, pull it back, I'd pull it back. I'm not going to listen to these fucking clowns.
All right. Interesting. Gonzalo,
There's more positive fucking feedback in the chat than there are negatives. So, whatever.
All right. Gonzalo, what were you going to say?
Okay, real quickly. The reason, it's kind of a good thing that they're making an example, and I guess that out of Shakur because of the YouTube. It's not like, okay, if they're making fun of him, he deserves it because he talked a lot of smack, dude. It's not like he doesn't talk shit about other people and tries to embarrass and try to embarrass others. No, because I'm a little busy. Sorry. I just hope that the people don't forget because as soon as they forget, he's going to try to pull this shit up again. Maybe he learns because they're making an example of him. Sorry, I'm just a little busy with myself.
I mean, I don't know if he learned. I mean, if he was genuinely afraid of his opponent, then he will always be afraid of heavy punchers. I don't think he's going to take a risk. I don't think that's in his
guys?
Nature. Hey, hold on, Gypsy. Let me just take a phone call and then you can jump.
Yeah, go do your thing.
All right, 773. You're on the air. 773.
What's up, boys? How y'all boys doing?
Hey, what's up, man? What's on your mind?
I'll tell you what's on my mind. I was just listening to that rant by the New Yorker. He's from New York.
No, I'm from Boston. New York, get it right.
Oh, he's from Boston. Okay.
I live in New York now. I live in New York now.
A little bit. There's some points I agree, some points I don't agree. I mean, if that's the case, then you might as well just want to watch Joe Smith Jr. fight every weekend. I mean, you don't need anybody else. Just have a bruising brawler go in there and put a slugfest on every single time. You don't got to be the most talented, but he's going to give you a good fight every time. I mean, is that what you want?
No, that's a wrong assessment. But go ahead.
See, that's my point. Is you need variety. You need variety. Even the boring guys who like to point fight from the outside.
You happy with that type of fight?
I don't know. I don't like watching it, but I don't. What are you gonna do? You want to just kick him out, ban him, or like?
No, you stop watching him. You complain about it so that people can understand what the fuck is going on. What, I don't have a right? I'm a consumer. I don't have a right to voice my opinion. Everyone on this panel agrees with me.
Of course you have a right.
No,
that's not fighting. That's not boxing, man.
I understand your frustrations, but at the end of the day,
it's not a frustration, bro. It's reality. It's not fighting. That's not fighting, guy.
Did you even watch the fight? Be honest.
Of course I watched it. It was a boring ass fight. He was fought like a scared little
call
hoe.
it a fight is a mockery. That was not a fight.
Bro, it was the worst fight I've ever seen in my life.
Don't even call it a fight.
Yeah, it wasn't
a fight.
What do you want to do?
Fight, man.
Well, what do you want? Do you think boxing should implement a rule change like deduct points or what's the solution?
They should DQ him. They should have DQ'd his ass. Kicked him out of boxing completely for doing that shit. That's what that was.
Did you guys hear that he deleted some tweets? Supposedly, he tweeted out that you know, like it. Oh well, I got paid over $1 million. Go fuck yourself or something like that.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, he fucking told y'all.
Damn, this guy's an idiot. All right, K-Dog, did you give us your prediction?
No, I didn't give you a prediction. I'm still talking, so don't ever try to cut me off and chew me away, Lucho.
Come on, give us your prediction.
Yeah, as far as the boring boxing and UFC is, the thing with the UFC did is they got rid of the wrestlers because everyone's complaining about the wrestlers. Oh, they're humping and grinding, and it's gay sex. Is what the people would say. But then it got away from sport, and now they're going towards entertainment. Now you got guys like kickboxers who literally haven't fought a wrestler yet. Alex Ferrari comes in the sport with 6 fights, becomes world champion because he's fought nothing but strikers. Now, if he went in there and fought an elite world-class wrestler, he's getting taken down and destroyed in a minute. But because people don't like that, they complain. They're big fans of the striking aspect and knockouts. Then that's what goes away from the sport. You got to stop that. You're gonna have to.
Kevin, we don't want to see Shakur Stevenson. We don't want Kevin. We don't want to see Shakur Stevenson. Kevin, we don't want to see Shakur Stevenson. He's boring as fuck. All right, the numbers are going to tell you that. The viewership is going to tell you that. You want to watch that shit? That's good. But
I know that.
So,
but
you know
who
what?
can beat him? Who can beat him?
That's not the point. Who can beat him? I don't give a shit. Who can beat him? All I'm telling you, nobody wants to see him fucking fight. You're not saying, Kevin, you haven't said anything. You haven't.
I've been saying Haney would beat him for a long time. This made it even more obvious that Haney could beat him for a long time. I've been saying it. Even before this fight, I'm saying Haney could beat him.
What are you telling us, Kevin? That we got to accept his style and we got to watch that shit? No, we're not watching it. And who can beat him? I don't know.
You got to watch it, but
it's difficult to beat a guy like that.
Recognize that he's the best
and gets a decision.
He's not the fucking best. What are you talking about?
Best, man. He hasn't fought anyone. Like the guy, he fought this guy. And by the way,
he's a unified champion. How is he not the best?
You clinch,
testosterone level 3,000.
He'll get the decision. I don't know what to tell you, man, but
how many belts does he have?
That's corruption in the sport. That's fucking corruption.
Who gives a fuck? They have like 10 belts. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, all right. Like nobody wants to see that shit.
Jimmy's on hella bro. He's on hella test. That shit you're talking about.
You want one of your sloppy brawlers? You come forward, Mexican style, and he's got to go in there and beat him. But they can't. So all you can do is whine and cry like a little hoe.
All right, give us your
Kevin, honestly, I think you're a great caller, but you dog shit today, just like you was dog shit Thursday.
You pussy.
You're not making any sense.
Pussy.
You're not even making any sense.
He said, like, in the UFC, they don't like striker. No, they don't like people on the ground. Well, of course, no. Nobody likes people rolling on the fucking ground, man. He's fucking boring.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, so now you ain't the best. You're getting the most
If I want to see that shit, I'll go watch a jiu-jitsu fight. I'll go watch a jiu-jitsu fight. I'll go watch some Olympic wrestling. Nobody wants to see that shit.
You can go watch that shit.
Yeah, we know what we want.
UFC's worth $14 billion, right? The last show at Madison Square Garden sold the fuck out. I went to Terrence Crawford's last fight at Madison Square Garden when Teofimo fought Comey. There wasn't even 3,000 fucking people at the gym, at the Madison Square Garden. So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The UFC made $500 million in profits last year.
Listen, we gotta move on. Kevin, go watch some guys roll around on the ground.
Like it is.
Go watch some guys roll around the ground, all right? We don't have time for this shit. All right, Kevin, thank you for calling.
It's sexual hearing, Bucho.
All right.
Go steal a car and go back to court.
All right.
Then call it.
Let's take, well, guys, another phone call here. We got to move on. They're piling up. 817, you're on the air. 817.
Yo, bros, it's Shazar.
Yo, what's up?
I was going to say, I think the reason they put the Stevenson fight on Thursday at midnight was so they could get the audience from the F1 shit, right? They were hoping all these rich retards would go watch the fight while they were waiting for this F1 shit to kick off, right? And it blew up in their faces because that shit was boring. And I doubt any of those guys actually went to go watch the fight. So they potentially had a lot of rich people watching this boring fight, hoping that he'd get some more, I don't know, get some fans, I guess, and it didn't work, man, because Stevenson's that bad. Man, this guy Stevenson's so fucking bad, dude. Horrible fighter. He's not a fighter. He's a runner. You guys remember Bumlenga
I know you guys don't
knocking cans over? Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Just finish it. Whatever you got to say. I'll tell you later.
When Berlanga was knocking out all those bums in like round 1 or whatever, and he was on top of the world, and everybody was like hyping this dude up. And then as soon as he got caught, that one time he got dropped, his confidence went to shit, and now he's just getting nothing but decisions, right? I'm curious to see if that's what happens with Stevenson now that he got exposed. Like, this dude surrounds himself by nothing but yes men. He had, like, I forgot who said it earlier, he's surrounded by a bunch of boring ass, with the exception of Crawford, boring ass freaking UD dudes who are hyping him up, right? He's surrounded by all these yes men who are telling him he's the best ever. He's the best ever, laced with his gloves. And for 12 rounds straight, they booed this dude. They booed him. And then when he was getting questioned after the fight, they were booing him so loud he had to like lift up his voice. He had to start speaking louder because he was being drowned out by the fucking crowd. This had to have been a wake-up call for him, and I don't think he's going to take it well because he's a little crybaby. Remember, like, in the Olympics, he was like, I don't like to lose. He's a little crybaby, and I don't think he's got the mentality to be a fighter. He's done.
Shazar, why do you think they keep pushing these fighters on us?
What I think it is,
Jewish
right?
agenda.
Let me illustrate this. I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Well,
so let me illustrate it with this historical little tidbit, right? When Julius Caesar was assassinated, right? The people who assassinated him, the senators who assassinated him, they all dipped their gowns in his blood, and they went out before the people and said, "Look, we killed this dictator," right? And the crowd was in silence, right? They were blown away by what happened, and they started rioting, right? And the senators were like, "Wait, what the hell? I thought don't you understand this guy's a dictator?" But that's not what the people saw him as, right? They saw him as a great ruler, as somebody who was shaking up the corruption in Rome, right? So the senators were just so out of touch with the common man that they didn't understand this. And I think that's what's going on with promoters, right? These promoters are so out of touch with people who actually watch the sport, right? That they don't know what their audience want.
Yeah.
I agree, and it's
they're
a good
just
point.
out of touch, right?
What's the majority of their audience, right? 18 to 49? Well, guess what? Most of them go to fucking work on Friday, right?
Exactly.
Why the fuck would you show that fight on a Thursday night?
Makes
Come
sense.
on.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to get those F1 dudes, these rich Europeans to watch the fucking fight, but they're not going to watch that shit.
Yeah.
Bob apparently had no choice, like Jimmy said. He had no choice. I heard that.
Yeah, ESPN
But at
put
least
the F1 on him.
but show it at a time that it's watchable. You know what I mean?
That I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I think they want freaking good boy points. Like, you know how the freaking Disney movies are all about freaking minorities and black people and shit? They're doing the same thing.
Yeah, and women.
I don't know if they're trying to like pull those people to watch the sport or something. But it's like, this is,
let me
like
tell
I
you
said
something,
before,
guys.
boxing
Let me say, you guys, it's the same rhetoric that I'm hearing. This fight is boring. This fight is boring. Wait. Do you guys keep talking? They say this fight is boring. This fight is boring, and I'm telling you, this fight was fixed. Right now, I'm just telling you, it was fixed. Santos was told not to knock this guy out.
I don't doubt it. Is this Never Sobers?
He was told, I say Never Sobers, bro. This is Gypsy. We do sound like sometimes. I think we do sound like. I get confused.
Okay, I don't know if you're messing with me, but you did. I will give you credit. If it is who I think you are, you did say Dominicans always do this shit. If this is you,
no, that was Never Sobers. That wasn't me, bro. I never said anything about Dominicans. I do. Your nationality doesn't change the fact whether you can box or not. I mean, maybe there's stereotypical things about certain nationalities that have more boxers than other nationalities do. But that's not how I look at boxing. That's probably Never Sobers. Probably recognize things like that too, Dominicans. But anyways, I was saying, like, the reason why I'm saying this is because, you know, that guy, Fight Film Precise Presenter, he always thinks every single fight is rigged. A lot of fights are rigged for him. Well, I was watching it just for shits and giggles, and there was a scene where Santos had Shakur in a clinch, or it was the other way around. Shakur caught him with the clinch because he was about to get pummeled, apparently. And Shakur threw a hook, a rabbit punch, let's just say, on the clinch with his left. Now, Santos got pissed off from the clinch position. Keep in mind that he can throw that shot pretty easily, Santos, and touch him up. When you slow that down, that left hand doesn't even touch Shakur Stevenson whatsoever. At all, bro. It's right there. His head doesn't move, nothing. Shakur's head doesn't move. He intentionally does not touch Shakur with his left hand on the clinch. It's 100% shot, bro. There's no missing that shit. And if you watch the other scenes in the fight where Shakur is coming at him and he is the one kind of like ring generalship wise making him come to him, he has opportunities right there. Goes one incident with the corner where he could throw the left, he doesn't throw it. He has opportunity. He had another opportunity where he jabbed him twice in the stomach, and the thing is, he was very close to throw that left. He didn't throw it.
All right.
I'm telling you right now, this fight was fixed. But maybe that mafioso motherfucker, what's his name? That manages Shakur Stevenson. What's his name? Jay Prince threatened Santos not to knock this dude out. I swear to God, I don't go by these things, these like crazy conspiracies, but that looked fake as fuck to me. I cannot deny that. There's no denying that. How can you get a guy on a clinch and miss on the left hand? That's impossible.
No, I mean,
he literally missed on purpose. He missed on purpose.
I mean, it is.
The referee warned Santos for holding too. He's the one who kept getting warned for holding.
No, bro, he was doing everything in his power not to knock this kid out.
This is why the guy.
He was doing everything in his power not to knock this kid out, bro. That's what he was doing.
Fight because he's allowed to low blow. He's allowed to clinch. He's constantly surrounded by people telling him he's the best ever, always constantly jerking him off. You know what I'm saying? And this was a wake-up call for him. Was it fixed?
You got Tim Bradley saying his power is for real. I mean, he's
a liar.
Tim Bradley was saying his power is for real for a thing, bro. You guys, the motherfuckers get it confused. He was saying Santos's power is for real. That's
Stevenson couldn't even knock out a female that
Shakur wasn't taking any risks. That's what he was saying. Yes, the power is for real. It's not Shakur that you were talking about.
No, he said it one time. He said it one time. I remember.
Maybe once, yeah, because Santos wasn't. When Santos had him there, he didn't throw his left, and when he threw his left, he threw hooks instead of throwing straight shots like he did against what's that guy's name that he knocked out? Velasquez, the guy Rio. You know, Gonzalez knows his name better. Yeah, he's one of my favorite fighters from the 135. But I keep forgetting his fucking name for some reason. The guy that trains with Benavidez.
Rayo Valenzuela.
Yeah, Rayo, bro. Right, he knocked out Rayo. He hit Rayo with a lot of fucking straight shots. That shit didn't exist in the Shakur fight. No straight shots whatsoever. All curve shots, avoiding to hit the guy, not to knock his ass out clean. This was a fixed, rigged fight. I'm telling you right now.
Was he undefeated going into that fight?
No, he wasn't. He had one loss.
He had one loss earlier.
Like 4 or 5 fights down there. 4 or 5 fights back, I think, against Foster or some unit Foster, which was a split decision, by the way.
But Shazar, thank you for calling. All right, take care.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell y'all next time.
All right. Before we continue, we have 2 super chats here. We have one from Earl Stevens. He says, 9th round TKO Benavidez put me down, Bucho. All right. I wrote your prediction already. And then we have another super chat from Aaron Kuko. He says, Stevenson could run a marathon in a phone booth. I got Benavidez by decision. All right. Let me write that down. But you know what? Let me take a phone call first and then we'll write it down. 510. You're on the air. 510.
Yeah,
hold on. Phone call. 510.
Yeah.
You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Jimmy? What's up, Recognize? What's up, BDA? What's up, Bitcho? What's up, I think his name is Gypsy. It's Mr. Booty Juice. I just came to call in. I wanted to comment about this Shakur fight. What's up?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, Ski yo. So, all right. I just wanted to say this. I feel like the panel is wrong. I feel like Shakur does have extreme knockout power because, honestly, while I was watching the fight, I felt, first of all, I feel violated in a lot of ways. It was entirely offensive. And just like by watching the fight, that dude knocked me out, dude. Like, I got sent into another dimension. Like, this shit was just, it was so, I felt so, it was just disgusting, man. It's just like, I don't get what's in their fucking mind. This what doesn't make sense to me, right? How the fuck do these guys want, at the end of the day, it's an entertainment sport. How the fuck do you guys want us to watch you when you don't do shit to make us want to watch you? On any level, right? No matter what camp you're on.
I agree.
It's just crazy to me, like, why don't they think anything of that? Like, honestly, my personal theory is, like, somewhere in the business, they're getting their money on the side. Like, that's part of the reason why they're acting this way. Regardless, they're making moves to appeal to the right people. Because the consumer, as I mentioned before, we're not gaining shit at all, man. It's a shitty area of boxing. I dislike a lot of the matchmaking is dog shit. The styles are dog shit. The talent is dog shit. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just terribly insulting. Like how the fuck in their mind do they even want to attract people when they fight like this? And obviously, at least he's not blaming his race for it, but that's also another aspect too that's just lame as fuck. Like, what sort of a fucking cop out is that? You know what I mean? So it's just crazy to me. Yeah, I don't know really what they want to end up doing. I mean, it'd probably be the same old shit. So it is what it is. But I mean, time and time again. Sorry, what was it?
Nothing. But anything else? Fuck. Why are we talking about this fucking guy anymore? Like, so you gave us your prediction, right? Yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, I gave you my prediction yesterday. Yeah, Benavidez 10th round TKO, I think. Yeah, like I mean that's a pretty straightforward fight too. I think it's 75-35 Benavidez' favor. So hopefully he does put on the statement. But I mean he should have been doing that from the very beginning. Honestly, a lot of these guys should. They should all be having the mindset like, all right, I'm gonna run through these guys and put on a show. Simply put,
I agree.
Even if Benavidez really wanted that fight with Canelo, he should have like talked his shit, but then he should have said like, he should have just dismantled these dudes, and then he should have just been like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do to Canelo, something like that. You just carry the attention, because I don't think the shit talking a terrible thing. It is part of the sport, but you have to do it in a way that obviously you're like complimenting your skills in the ring, but then also you're attracting people to it, but. I mean, yeah, that's how it should have been. And if Andrade does have a chance, as I mentioned, he's going to try to. He'll have to survive some way, but I don't see it happening. The guy, what's crazy to me too, like even the Charlo brothers and everybody else, I forget they're that fucking old too. They don't seem like they're that old, but they're already 35,
people in the chat,
like,
people in the chat saying you called me bicho. So I have a super chat for you. So Passive says Booty Loose. That's your name. Booty Loose sounds like he eats 3 Big Macs with Diet Coke. Is that true? Did you have a Diet Coke after eating 3 Big Macs to balance it out?
No. I don't
All right,
do
Booty Loose. We gotta move on. But,
Booty Loose, do you take a lot of laxative? Is that why you?
I call you bitcho. I call you bitcho for a reason, because you sometimes are a little bitch. So I mean, I'm just calling you what you are, man. I'm not. I'm not trying to disrespect you, but
we'll settle this on an open lines.
You're kind of in the middle.
We'll settle this on an open lines Friday. All right. Huh? We'll settle this on an open lines Friday. All right. We gotta move on.
Booty Loose, Booty Juice. Is it his name because he takes a lot of laxative, or that's probably why they name him Booty Juice? Or something else?
Who the fuck names himself Booty Juice? Who names himself Booty Juice?
I don't know, bro.
Degenerate.
Guys in prison.
A degenerate creature from decadent times. All right. Thank you for calling. We gotta move on. Thank you. Right.
Fucking degenerate names himself Booty Juice. Come on.
All right, guys. Degenerate. Hey guys, we got another phone call. 832, you're on the air.
What up, Kang Bucho? Listen, man, I already gave my prediction on the Benavidez Andre fight, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna change nothing about that. Y'all could watch it yesterday. However, I did call in, right? To I wanna touch on the topic earlier about the Shakur Edwin thing, right? So listen, I don't think there's nothing inherently wrong with the phrase hit and not get hit. However, there is a difference between hitting and not getting hit and just straight up stalling, running, basically. I do think I feel like the term should be changed to like you might get hit, right? But the point is obviously the goal is to not get hit, right? However, you might get hit. I feel like if you tuck your chin like Triple G, or if you hit between punches like Terrence Crawford, I feel like they should change it to instead of hit and not get hit, it should be like just don't get hurt. Try your best to not get hurt. I think that's a better phrase for it instead of just hitting and not getting hit. Because guys get it confused and they start clinching and they start making up their own rules and whatnot. And what's it called? And another thing I wanted to touch on was earlier Dora was talking about the Canelo, and I think he was breaking down the resumes, right? I heard part of it, right? And I don't like how y'all guys said that he sounded like an LDBC guy. Because listen, I don't listen to the LDBC. I don't know what they say. However, I will say that I do consider Rocky Fielding and the last guy he fought, the one before Charlo, UK bums. However, I wouldn't call Billy Joe Saunders a UK bum at all because he is a champion. I know that 168 wasn't his natural weight class, but Callum Smith, he's an excellent fighter. Guys who are champions are excellent fighters. However, the guys who have never been champions, like John Ryder, I don't think he's ever been a champion. Rocky Fielding, I don't even know how he became champion. Like, certain Amir Khan, like, come on, bro. Some of these guys, they're kind of like bums, bro, in a way.
I think you can do that with every. I think with every fighter you can find a bunch of stuff like that. But when it comes to Rocky Fielding, sorry. When it comes to John Ryder, you said Callum Smith was a good boxer, and I agree with you. But a lot of people had John Ryder beating Callum Smith. They say
and John Ryder's bigger than Canelo. He's bigger. He's a big, thick guy, man. He was much bigger than Canelo. And Billy Joe Saunders is a good fighter. He's just not a super middleweight.
No,
Yeah, of course.
There's a reason why 70,000 people showed up for that fight. Billy Joe Saunders is a legitimate fighter. He's a good fighter. He's a champion in 2 divisions.
And by the way, I think
Billy Joe Saunders is good, but he's not disciplined.
And caller, I think BDA called Dora an LDBC guy or something like that. First of all, I think he was joking, but he was saying, because Dora was saying he was calling these guys UK bums, and that's something that the LDBC likes to say.
I call somebody like that too. Like I said. But I think when I say it, I don't just say it, out of spite or whatnot. But I do think some of these guys are, they have been underachievers. Like, I get it. John Ryder was a big guy, right? He was way bigger than Canelo. However, he doesn't really.
He beat Danny Jacobson too. He's no slouch. But Rocky Fielding is a bum. Let's be honest.
Yeah, right. Amir Khan too, his fought a lot of guys who are just at that level.
Amir Khan is not even in his weight class. That fight should have taken over. That was just Oscar De La Hoya trying to make a quick buck for Canelo. That's all that shit was.
All right, listen, caller, we gotta move on. We gotta take another phone call, but thanks for calling. All right, take care.
All right, for sure. All right, you too. You take care. No, all right.
All right. Another phone call, 945. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, BDA? Can you hear me all right?
This is Bucho, but welcome to the show.
Oh, what's up, King Bucho? How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. What's on your mind?
Yo, this is Real Talk Boxing. I just wanted to come in and give my prediction. I got a feeling that it's going to be a unanimous decision for Benavidez. I don't think he's going to knock out Andrade. I don't think he's got the power for that. And I feel like he's been wagering himself a lot. He's a big son of a bitch, and to be going down to 168, that's you're gonna leave something in the camp. Whether one day it's gonna be his stamina or his chin or something. He's that's not good. How much weight he's cutting for that.
Yeah, he looks like death every time he's showing up at the press conference. He looks like death.
Yeah. I think he may be able to ink out a unanimous decision, but I don't think he's gonna knock out Andrade because all that monster bullshit. That's whenever he's fighting smaller, weaker opponents, and once he fought his first top tier opponent in Caleb Plant, he wasn't able to stop him. He wasn't able to create distance. He wasn't able to use his length. He showed a lot of holes in his game. So I don't think he's gonna have much success in the upper echelon of fighters. And Andrade is not a great fighter, but he is there. He's up there in those. I would say like a B tier.
Yeah, he's good enough.
Maybe like a B plus. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think he'll be able to. He might be able to drop Benavidez. Benavidez likes to cross his legs and doesn't have very good footwork. So I think he's gonna be an interesting fight. But I don't think Benavidez is gonna shock or wow anybody with his performance. To be honest with you.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. Good call.
I beg to differ on that one.
About what?
About what Benavidez can do to Andrade. I think he's gonna stop him. I think he's gonna stop him at 9 and 10, somewhere in that area.
You keep changing your
He's gonna
fucking
stop him because of one reason.
Gypsy, you keep changing your prediction.
Yeah,
like what the
no.
fuck?
I changed my initially way back when I was going off of what I've seen back in the day of Andrade and what I've seen of Benavidez. I just went off of Andrade because of the fact that he's the boxer, he was the mover, and Caleb Plant gave him problems. But the problem with Andrade my mind just completely changed after like a couple. I think it was like 3 days ago. I changed it.
90 seconds.
Dude, this dude, every time he throws a combination, he ducks his chin down. Everything. He just ducks. And that is a recipe of disaster when Benavidez throws combinations, he throws usually from the bottom up. And he's going to catch him.
Yeah.
Even when he's coming in.
He likes to shoot from the hip.
He couldn't take out Plant. You think he's going to take out Andrade?
No, but Plant doesn't do that, bro. Joe. Plant doesn't do that shit.
60 seconds.
He's an upright fighter that steps back.
All right.
You know what I mean? He steps back and makes you miss from the ropes, but he doesn't pretty much lower his head down as much as Sting did. He does lower it down, but not like how Andrade does. Andrade does it point blank, right in front of your face. He comes in, and then that's just horrible, bro.
All right, we gotta end the phone call. Call back again, all right?
Hold on, one last thing. I just wanted to say about Dora. I think he's funny. He's our favorite punching bag in the Discord, and he likes to cry a lot. So it's good having him on the show because it's good to laugh at.
I agree. Everybody.
Yeah, and he's knowledgeable. He's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, everybody.
He's just gonna take a breath.
Everybody brings something to the show. Everybody brings something to the show. That's what we.
10 seconds.
All right, we'll see you next time.
He needs to learn to stop crying.
That's a good.
He's a young kid, man. You got to give him a break.
All right, guys, we're gonna end the phone calls. Time's over here, but we're gonna continue on with the show.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right,
Ucho.
Yes.
I just let you know, I posted a video after the Shakur fight. I said 4 fights ago, he did something after the fight that just struck me odd. The way he was obsessed with this little raspberry he had under his right eye. Like he kept looking up at the fucking, the jumbo screen at his face. Like, wow, look at that. Wow. Like, it was like a little kid who lost his first tooth who was obsessed with it. You know what I mean? And so I found the video and I posted it in the Discord. It's like, it's after the fight, how he was about this mark on his face. It just goes to show you, and it told me there, I'm like, that's the first time this kid's ever really been touched up. It's the first time he's ever been really hit. I'm like, that's not good. This kid doesn't even know yet if he can actually take shots. And I said that just so that there was always going to be until that card was answered. And I think he answered the other day. This kid just does not like. And I know people say nobody likes getting punched. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that is bullshit. That is bullshit. There are fighters that love to take a punch to give a punch.
Let me get this straight. You're talking about a guy that is a silver medalist, right?
Yep, made it all the way through, and I don't think ever because he wore those headgear. There was all the images.
Was it? Was it headgear? Because I think when I saw
yeah.
his final, the final was without headgear.
Not in the
It was
Olympics.
unfair.
Not in the Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympics is headgear. Yeah. And he wore the eye cover too, would cover his chin, I believe.
Bro, I
His
don't
eyes.
think Jimmy. I don't think it's a case of whether he's ever been in a fight. I doubt that he has not. He probably has. It's whether he knew the competition in front of him, and that's why he fought the way he did. And he pretty much ran. For him, it's not hit and not get hit. It's more with him. It's touch and not get hit.
Well, I bet he's never been in a street fight.
In the images, because there's only three 2-minute rounds there, he was able to bang out those 6 minutes, probably almost never getting touched. So he literally was like, I posted it. Just look at it. It's crazy how he reacted to that punch. You know,
wow,
face.
Wow, this is what it looks like when you actually get hit.
Yep. And I just found it extremely odd. That's why I saved it. I literally recorded it off the TV back in 2020,
Maybe
2021, because it struck me so odd.
Well, Jimmy,
it struck me so odd that he was acting that way.
Did you say that Shakur is afraid of getting hit? Like really, seriously afraid? Like there's a real problem.
No, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. He just doesn't like it. Some guys don't like getting hit. I don't think his chin has ever been tested. And I don't think he's got confidence in his chin.
Okay, Jimmy. Having said that, some people believe that Shakur now will change his style because of because people have been complaining. Do you think will be able to do that, or this will never go away? This type of fear.
I mean,
he's not going to change his style.
That's going to be a very hard thing to change. To go in there and suddenly start, setting him apart because he did serious damage to their brand. I mean, both fighters. I know on this panel we're hopping on Shakur, but the other kid did no favors for his fucking career either.
I guarantee you Santos will fight another guy and show that he's what he's capable of, and this guy will still do the same thing in his next fight. Santos's brand isn't really hurt. Everybody knows who Shakur is, bro. That's all it is. That's all it's going to be. And if he changes his style, best believe he'll get knocked out if he ever deals with a puncher. He would have got knocked out in this fight. He lost this fight, but he would have definitely gotten knocked out. That's for sure. He was meant to get knocked out. It was his destiny to get knocked out in this fight. I'm just saying that much.
Gypsy, they could always just pay the opponent so he throws a fight.
I think it was fixed. The fight was fixed for sure, bro. You don't grab a guy in a clinch and you throw a punch and it misses his chin. Dude, you throw it in front of his face and his head doesn't even move, bro. That doesn't make any sense. It's 100% connect ratio at that point. It was man. The guy, it's a fixed fight. That's why when he was, you know what he was doing?
He will never lose.
Pucho.
Yes.
You know what he was doing? He was sitting there with Andre Ward. He was sitting there with Andre Ward, bro, and eating candy or whatever he was eating. When the next fight is literally his, he's supposed to be getting ready and all that kind of stuff. He's like, not a care in the world, bro. Just candy and just chilling with Andre Ward on a sofa and everything, because it was all set up for him to win that shit, bro.
Daniel Hardman says, anyone seen the Los Santos fight already knows that it wasn't him in there. You think that wasn't him in there? It was like he was okay. Well, you already said it. I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like I do believe that. Shakur, he's a very quick boxer. The guy doesn't want to get hit either. I'm not blaming only Shakur. I'm blaming also De Los Santos.
When a guy's so quick, hopefully the aircon, because I got it blaring in the background. It's not too loud.
It's okay.
Hot as hell. And he's real quick off to push off that front foot. So when you make a concerted effort to push off that front foot, you're going to find yourself out of distance if you're Edwin De Los Santos and every other opponent that he faces. It's just very hard. And not to say that because you do that, you're a great boxer. No, you're not. Okay. You're concentrated on not getting hit at all and only risking when your opponent makes a mistake. But I will say this about Edwin De Los Santos. At least he was proposing. He was the one taking the initiative in the beginning. So even by doing that, just doing that alone, that's one of the scoring criteria. You could give those rounds to Edwin De Los Santos where you could say, okay, well, nobody did next to nothing, but it's one of the type of swing rounds. I would give it to De Los Santos.
I agree.
Shakur had like 3 rounds where he outlanded a little bit more by throwing some jabs like in the middle of the rounds. But every other round, if they're swing, I give him to Los Santos. That's why I had him winning.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that he's the one proposing. He's the one. I mean, he could win on the criteria of ring generalship. I guess, if
it wasn't just ring generalship. It was the better punches landed. The more jabs landed, the more backhands landed. He landed in every aspect. He landed more than Shakur did. If you slow it down and watch this in slow motion, even though he did not pull the trigger with his left hand to completely put him out because he was told not to do so, he still won that fight. He still won it. Even with that bullshit that they told him not to do, he still won it. That's how ridiculous Shakur is. That's how far in caliber he is from elite.
I mean, I'm not saying 5 out of the first 6 rounds.
Dude, I gave him like 7 to 8 rounds, bro. Like 8. If you want to be generous to Shakur, you give him, give Santos 7, and that he still wins. 7-5. He still wins. And he had the better shots. He landed the better stuff, all around.
Well, you said he didn't really. I mean, so he pulled his punches.
No, when he pulled his punches when the time was there, when he could have seriously hurt Shakur, like seriously, put him on his ass, make him see a queer streak. He probably won't want to box ever again, type deal, that kind of shit. That he had that, and he was like, oh no, I shouldn't throw this.
I think if they paid the guy to throw the fight, they could have also told Shakur to put on a better performance if the fight was fixed. Like, why would you just have one guy not throw punches and the other guy run around? Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, if you're already paying for a guy to take a dive, then I might as well try to make it exciting or make Shakur look better.
Bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know why.
That's why. Yeah, if the fight was paid to be thrown, he would have been hitting him.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have been worried about getting stopped. He wouldn't have made himself look so bad if the fight was thrown. If he was paying the guy to lose.
Maybe they told him not to knock him out, but they didn't specify.
Maybe it wasn't fixed. How about that shit?
Maybe they didn't specify. Hey, don't make him look good. All that kind of shit. So he went out there and did what he wanted to do. So for his brand not to go out, for Edwin Santos' brand not to go out and not get completely demolished.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, his brand definitely took a hit. You go on Twitter, he's not getting much love either. People are trashing him too.
People are going to talk about it, Jimmy. They're going to say something about it because it was Shakur, and everybody knows how Shakur is. But I guarantee you, if Santos fights someone else, whether that's Lomachenko, whether that's who else. Name a person that's in the 135 tank.
Well, Santos is with PBC, so yeah, I don't know who's going to get another title shot.
And to Jimmy's point, I'm not watching the next Shakur fight. No fucking way. And I guarantee there's a lot of people that feel the same way I do. Right or wrong.
I am right. You're right, bro. You're right, Joe. I said it. I'll never watch, no matter who he fights, even if it's Haney, even if it's I don't give a. That's the guy because I know that's the guy that's gonna beat him because he's American. They're both Americans and they're backed up by something. That's the guy. Even if Lomachenko goes in there and beats him up for majority of the rounds, he's not gonna get credited with that victory. So that's another guy that's not gonna get it. So the only one guy, and Tank is the other one that. I think with the Tank situation, that fight might never take place because they were not agreeing to terms. Yeah, they weren't agreed terms. They will never agree terms because who's the A side, who's the B side, all that bullshit. So the other guy that is most likely to beat him is going to be Haney.
The little audience that they have, they lost half of it that night.
Santos didn't make me lose. I like Santos. I will watch Santos again, but I would never watch Shakur.
Santos is good. He's a boxer puncher. He's like a quick counter puncher. I don't think he's a pressure fighter like that to put you under duress like a Chino Maidana. I would still watch.
He's not like Golovkin, bro.
I would still watch De Los Santos because he got a lot of knockouts. And if you come to fight, if you want to meet him in the middle of the ring, he's gonna fight you. Right. It's like Joet when he fought Shakur. When Joet fought Shakur, that was a fucking boring fight. But usually Joet's a fun fighter. He's always shown up. It's the one that makes it negative, Shakur, that makes it into a boring fight.
That's true. I mean, I remember Postol. I mean, he's not a super exciting fighter, but sometimes he would get into like exchanges and like against like Josh Taylor and against Matisse. Those fights were kind of exciting. But against Crawford, that was extremely fucking boring. So that doesn't mean that guy's boring as hell. It's just that the opponent. So yeah, De Los Santos, like Gonzalo said, put him against somebody else. It's gonna be he's an exciting boxer. He has power. This is all on Shakur. Well, not on Shakur. Shakur Stevens is to blame. Come on.
Yeah, Bucho, you're right. He's Santos will not. Watch one more fight to put him up against someone else. His stock is gonna rise up. He's a puncher boxer, bro. He's just perfect, like Gonzalo.
At the same time, I don't think De Los Santos is as good as some people make it out to.
Because I think he's good. I don't know how good he is. I can't sit there. I knew he was good enough to beat Shakur. I don't know how good he is. I can't like put him up against like Lomachenko and say, he might beat Lomachenko. I can't like after like that's a like they're both pretty good on the feet. They're Loma doesn't carry that much punching power like Santos does. Loma might have to take more chances. It might be dangerous for Loma. It's toughy. It's a little bit. It's harder to just go like, hey, Loma could dominate Santos. That's an interesting fight, man.
Like right around like the 8th or 9th round when the people, the fans, but also like the people that were calling the fight, they were kind of getting tired of nobody like really doing nothing. But I will say that Edwin De Los Santos was the one coming forward, and they were saying, okay, well, Timothy Bradley. Shakur's breaking him down mentally. You could say the same thing about Edwin De Los Santos doing that early. In the first 5 out of the 6 rounds, the first 5, he was breaking this dude down mentally because he didn't want to trade either. But they failed to mention that, acknowledge that.
Yeah, hey, I misspoke earlier. I will watch Shakur fight if I'm having trouble sleeping.
I agree.
That's a good one.
Maybe I'll watch him if he fights like Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko, or Tank Davis. I'll watch him fight those just to see what happens.
No wonder he's really avoided. Those fighters are not going to want to fight him. What are they going to say then when they don't want to fight him? Oh, they're ducking him. No, they don't want to fight him, not because he's the boogeyman. Because he's a fucking chicken shit coward. That's the reason. And they're not going to want to fight inside the ring. He's not going to want to fight,
They're going to want to fight
fucking
Santos.
boogeyman. He calls himself like this dude that everybody avoiding. But when it comes to like fighting inside the ring, he's the motherfucker that's running scared. So how's he the fucking boogeyman?
They're gonna want to watch. They're gonna want to fight. They're gonna want to fight Santos because Santos is the guy that supposedly, arguably, beat fucking Shakur Stevenson. And why not fight him? He's game. He wants to fight. He's not gonna run.
How did he win the fight if you say he was fixed?
Arguably beat him, bro.
So he arguably beat him,
even though it's not really arguable.
So that fight was fixed.
Let's be genuine, bro. Like even Navarrete fucking lost that day, bro. Like there's a lot of guys. I'm a Navarrete fan, bro. I am a Navarrete fan. I don't like Conceição. I said Navarrete fucking lost that fight, bro.
Gypsy, I'm just
the only
confused.
one. And I was generous to give him extra 2 rounds, bro. I was generous. 4 rounds. 2 knockdowns. 114, 112.
Gypsy, I'm just confused because you said that the fight was fixed. But yet he still won the fight.
Navarrete is different. No. Navarrete. I'm talking about Navarrete versus.
No, I'm talking about Stevenson. You're saying that
Stevenson was fixed. It was fixed, but it was fixed for him not to get knocked the fuck out. That's what it is.
Still won the fight.
Because that guy would have knocked him out clean, cold, bro. That was a grown man. I like how Mirage said it that day. It's a grown man versus a child. And he looked like a grown man versus a child who's pulling punches on him. And when there was areas where he could just wreck him, even on a clinch, he would have wrecked him.
But Gypsy, he did load up on a lot of punches. He just missed big.
Yeah.
He was missing big, too.
Fake loading. Bro, the guy's back is on the ropes. I'll give you another one. Besides the clinch, which is the most obvious. The guy's back, Shakur's back is on the ropes. He throws a jab to the body. Instead of throwing it to the left to the head, he throws it on his arm, and it's clear right there. He could have thrown it on the head. He was. The distance was perfect.
Well, he was probably worried about catching something back too, because he wasn't jumping in either. He wasn't cutting the
Bro, he
ring
was
off.
behind the rope. Dude, it was off. But obviously, that's the way that's how you make it look like the guy, he's kind of worried, but in reality wasn't. If you really look at the fight, he was fucking bullshitting this dude, bro. He wasn't fighting him. That wasn't a real fight, man. I'm telling you right now. That's why when I
just don't know why someone would ruin their chance to become a world champion again. He's not going to get another shot to be a world champion now that he's got a second loss. And because of that performance, it's going to be a long time. I'm a professional fighter. How scared can it be? I don't know, dude. I'm not big on the whole throwing the fight thing. I think that's a lot rarer than you think.
Jay Prince, dude. They might have threatened him. They might have threatened him. They might have said, "Oh, well,
it was a box. Like most boxers would say, "How about go fuck yourself? I got guns too, fool."
Yeah, I'll call the FBI.
Not everybody's like that, though, bro. Like, not everybody's like that. Not everybody. They talk a good big game, but they won't probably do that shit.
That's not the FBI after all.
Like Shakur said, he was banking on De Los Santos getting reckless. He said it. But credit to De Los Santos. But here comes the tricky, like Jimmy's saying. He didn't get reckless, but at the same time, he didn't let his hands go that often.
Exactly.
So that's what kind of like made Shakur nervous. But at the same time, could have De Los Santos gotten more for broke? Probably. He should have.
Yeah, looking back, he should.
I'm not the type of guy that's like to set conspiracy theories. Oh, this fight's fixed, and there's people out there saying the Fury versus Thing fight, Nagano was fixed. I'm not saying that shit. I'm not saying that fight's fixed.
Good for you.
But I could say that. But this one was so fucking obvious.
But there's more conspiracies in the world than you think, my friend. Believe that.
I know there is. There's a shit ton more out there, but you can't sit there and tell me you got a guy in the clinch and his head is right there. Your arm isn't hold back. You could throw that shot and you throw it past the tip of his chin.
But like Jimmy said, he's probably afraid of getting it thrown back at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jimmy hit a point.
Shot. I mean,
Are you guys talking about Shaquifa?
Yeah, Shaquifa. Yeah. That's a clinch, bro. Nothing is thrown back at him. He could defend himself. He's gonna get hit same ways. Are you afraid of Shakur's punching power? You weren't afraid of Rayos.
Yeah, well,
the clinch.
It's possible.
How's that make any sense, bro?
It's possible he could have missed it too. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna always.
I mean, listen. It's.
I
understand that you can like.
You guys argue that.
Let's say. Let's say. Hold on. Let's say. Hold on.
Let me say this. Okay, Bucho, you want to talk to him? Finish.
Yes. I mean, you missed the shot. All right, fair enough. But like, sometimes crazy ass mistakes happen in a fight.
Yeah.
It's not out of like you remember when Fury hit himself. Like somebody could say, well, that was on purpose because you know who would hit him themselves. Well, it happened. That guy made a stupid ass fucking mistake that he punched, and I don't know how it fucking happened, and he ended up punching himself. Now, was that
that's
like
possible, but there was more than besides the clinch. Well, besides the clinch, there was other occasions where he had him. He's jab. Wait, give me 1 second.
No, he wasn't afraid of Shakur's power. He was afraid of getting his shots off first and missing, and maybe losing the round by getting scored on like 2 times.
Yeah, you're gonna miss.
Okay, you guys. So look.
That doesn't mean he lost.
He threw a jab.
So what?
He threw a jab.
He won.
He threw a jab 2 times to the stomach. The second jab that he threw, it landed on his stomach. I'm talking about Santos landing it on Shakur. His elbow was bent. Literally bent, bro, the jab hand. He had the ability to throw the left. Whatever way you want to throw it, you want to throw it straight. He didn't even fucking throw it at all, bro. He waited until this kid fucking moved away, bro. Come on, man. He was fucking not trying to knock this dude out, bro. I'm telling you right now. He was not trying to knock him out. It was pretty obvious.
What are you saying? What are you saying? You're saying that De Los Santos was not trying to knock out Shakur?
Yeah, he threw the fight. He thinks De Los Santos threw the fight.
Exactly, bro. He was threatening not to.
Through the fight.
Bro,
okay,
initially when the fight was about to start, right? Yeah, recognize.
But then I just don't understand. Like he now holds the record for the least amount of punches landed in professional boxing history as far as modern era. He landed less than 40 punches in the entire fight.
That's a bullshit stat, first of all, and second of all, when your life is threatened.
Punches. I didn't see that. I saw the fight. I didn't see any of these punches landing. I didn't see that. I was waiting for him to hit. Like in one breath, you're sitting there saying he didn't try to knock him out, but then you're saying all these punches landed. I didn't see almost nothing land other than
Look,
some
he landed
jabs and shit, some body shots,
and pulled back hooks that landed.
Horrible. I think they were both horrible, man.
I never said that the whole fight wasn't horrible.
They were both horrible. But the reason why De Los Santos might have been horrible was because the fighter he was fighting was way more horrible, and therefore he was trying to make the fight. Now, he wins, in my opinion. Now, could he have thrown the fight? Bro, this is boxing. Absolutely. I don't know that.
Fuck yeah, bro.
For anybody to be like, oh, no, that's not possible. Bro, what world do you live in? Of course it's possible. Absolutely. Okay? It's absolutely. Now, do I know that? I don't know that. But personally, to me, even if he did throw the fight, it didn't even matter to me. He still won. Still won the fight.
Yeah, like Jimmy's arguing with me with that winning, the up pointing. Bro, I send you a video of a kid that did that, how many shots that Santos landed and all the shots that Shakur landed. And you see, and the title of his video is called, "Did Shakur really win?" That's what it is, like a question mark. And you see,
I don't think either one of them won. They should have fucking held back the pay.
Should have been a draw.
I'm not going to hold back the pay on De Los Santos because you need evidence.
By the way,
that he didn't come to fight or he threw the fight.
Exactly. By the way, super chat, high and lows.
But I would take the pay from Shakur. Absolutely.
High and lows. Thank you for your super chat. It says BDA, the home of boxing. I appreciate that. High and low, always supporting the show. And I was gonna say, listen, if you're gonna pay somebody to take a dive, then at least make it exciting. Get I'll give you a fake fight. Malik Scott versus Deontay Wilder. At least that guy he would look.
Yeah, but he did a bad job.
That shit didn't even land.
If you're gonna go to the length of bribing a guy, or even like Gypsy said, maybe even threatening the guy, then at least threatening him, you go like, well, I'm already threatening you. Might as well, you know what? Not only do you don't throw the fight away, go down. Make it.
Make it exciting.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
Don't just run
if
around.
the fight's in the bank, why would you do that to your reputation? Like what Shakur did to his reputation.
Yeah,
you don't need to throw the fight. Have him throw the fight. All you do is make Shakur Stevenson run, clinch, and don't penalize him for that. And he gets to win. You don't penalize him for that. In other words, you reward him for that. Okay? That's it. That's all you need. Now, I would need more proof. I'm not saying that De Los Santos did throw the fight or he didn't. I need more proof.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what the deal was, but one thing for sure is that he did.
Say that you can't see that. I think you're being a little naive if you can't see where a fighter could throw the fight for a guy who might be a pretender. You know what I'm saying?
I can see
and that's the guy that they want to make money for.
When you throw a fight, hey, might as well, go on, get dropped, with we've seen plenty of those type of fake knockouts throughout history.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Maybe Santos didn't want to do that. Santos said, I won't knock him out.
We're putting this. We're putting this. Hold on. We're putting this fight, on a Thursday. We're making a big event. We don't want Shakur to win because he's our cash cow, or supposedly, right? So we're gonna stink out the joint by paying this guy to run and this other guy not to throw punches. Like, if I'm already paying the guy, I'm like, listen, like we want Shakur to remain undefeated. We want to turn him into a superstar. Go down in round 5. That would make
he ranks the opponent's power, Gypsy, because De Los Santos' power. And mind you, it's another lefty. Too dangerous, man. But this was really career suicide for Shakur, because nobody, especially fighters with no power, it's a lose-lose. They're losing. He does got skill, and he's not like he's going to play it safe like he did against a power puncher. Because even by other Black American standards, that was a horrible fight. Look at Calvin Ford, what he said. Oh, hell no. We don't want no part of him, because as soon as we get in there, that dude's going to take 4 steps back, 4 feet back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He ruined
And
his
by the way,
grid.
is this something
Yep.
that
So not even
surprises
the
you?
power punchers like Tank, and not even the guys that can punch, because obviously he's gonna try more against those guys, and he's gonna still resort to like getting on the back foot and now pointing you. So nobody want to fuck with him, really. I'll tell you the truth, man. That was
And,
I don't.
criticize for him.
Look,
and by the way, are you guys
Mucho Gonzalo.
surprised?
I'm thinking exactly the way Gonzalo's thinking. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. But seeing that shit from slow mo, how he with the clinch, and he's like, he gets pissed. I'm gonna hit you back after he got rabbit punched on the clinch, and he misses. He puts his head in front of his chin, bro. And then the other occasions, I'm like, dude, there's a high probability that this fool's. He didn't want to throw his left hand.
Listen,
he didn't want to throw his left hand, bro, because he was told not to do so.
This is nothing.
Because he's gonna kill this kid.
All right. Well, I mean,
It's whatever, man. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Why they didn't interview Andre Ward or Crawford in the aftermath? Mayweather leaving the fight early, because if they would have been involved with that type of performance, it would have been like bad for them too. It would have been a bad reputation for them. So obviously, yeah, you could tell the signs are there that was a bad performance.
It's also the fact that there's another thing that.
Hold on.
One last
Guys,
thing.
can you
One
hear
more
me?
thing.
You can hear me. You guys can hear me.
I can hear you, Bucho.
All right,
I
if you
can
hear
hear
me,
you.
please. Okay, well then. All right. I forgot what I was gonna say.
So what?
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Gypsy can hear us, but he chooses not to.
I
not
think
to
so,
hear
man.
us.
No, I like it's like a deafening noise, bro. It's a deafening noise. Like it's very low, but I can
Alright.
hear you guys.
Yeah, my mic is low. Fuck, I was gonna say something about Shakur. This is nothing new with Shakur Stevenson. He stinks out the joint. He's done it before. He'll do it again. All right. So to say that this is a
He's not that good, Bucho.
That's
He's not that
I mean,
good, man.
it
They
could
could've-
be a fixed fight. I would need more
I
evidence.
think in order to get him,
and when I compare it to other fixed fights are like Malik Scott versus Deontay Wilder. I mean, you can tell. It's
yeah,
a
but
fixed
that's
fight.
a bad fixed fight, though, Bucho. That's a bad one.
What's a
The
good
guy?
give me a good fixed fight.
There's. How about the ones that we don't know about?
Well, that's
How
what
about
everyone's
the ones
saying.
that-
It's,
how about the ones that we
I mean,
don't?
come on.
How about Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon? That was
I think Bruce Seldon was just so scared. I don't think that was thrown. I
See,
think he
that's
was
the thing. That's the
listen,
thing.
whether
That's the
he
thing.
was
There's no
scared or
evidence.
not, to say that he got hit and that was a devastating shot, dude. He stayed down.
that was terrible. Yeah, he was
stayed down.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't even hit him. He didn't even hit him with one of those shots.
All I'm saying is fixed fights, you can tell usually when they're fixed. When it's not fixed fight, then you can't blame
No, that's not 100% true. I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
But
okay,
Not always.
Unless they're
bro.
very good actors,
Not
but
always. It's super hard
for the
sometimes.
most,
Even
I'm
like,
just saying-
look, I
I'm
watch
just saying-
soccer,
I'm just
Bucho,
saying- I'm
just
just
like
saying-
you do. Sometimes the game is fixed. Sometimes the game is fixed, but unless for me to know, I have to know the team, both teams very well. I have to know both of them very well for me to know for sure that this game was fixed. Like the World Cup with Argentina and France. That was a fixed fight for Messi not to fucking win. That last two fucking shit that happened, the goals that happened, that was fixed. One was a handball by the French in the box. That wasn't supposed to be a penalty that ended up, the Argentina player kicking to the French and then it ended up being a penalty. And the one was a foul that ended to be a goal.
Yeah, but Gypsy, I mean, that happens in football, soccer, all the time.
That's why it was so epic when Messi won that shit because he even with the odds against him, he still won that shit.
There's no
That's
fix
impressive.
anything. Of course, there's fixed fights. I just mentioned a few. I'm saying that when it comes to these fights, where like, it's so well fixed that you can't tell, but I can't tell. Like you can't tell it's fixed, but I can tell it's fixed. I mean, it's like, okay, well then you can't really
opposite.
Yeah, people can see differently. Yeah,
maybe there's certain things that you're missing, and maybe there's certain things that I'm missing.
But no, but it's
I mean, a lot of people were already anointing. Okay, go ahead.
If you're saying it's a well fixed fight, like very well choreographed, then how do you know it's fixed? Because you're saying it's so well fixed, but now you are catching on to something.
That's my point. That's my point. That sometimes there's what I'm trying to say is, if there's one fixed fight, what makes you think there's not others? For instance, you saw a fixed fight.
I'm not saying
Deontay. You saw a fixed fight in Deontay Wilder and
Malik.
What's his name? Malik Scott.
Right.
What about his other fights? those might have been fixed too. What, do you think they're gonna just stop with one?
I think Stevenson versus Harry was fixed.
I'll tell you. Okay, that's a good point. I'll tell you what. Guess what happened? Like, these guys were friends. So that leads me to believe that it's that this type of corruption that led to the point where like they're just fixing fights left and right. It's not that deep and it's not that common. I mean, it is.
Okay, so
look at the commentary. Everybody wants for it to have.
Do you believe there's fixed fights? You believe there's never been fixed fights in the history of boxing?
Who are you asking me?
Yeah, anybody.
No, I told you Wilder and Malik.
Okay, so then what makes you think that there's a fight you watched that looked totally legit? Everybody might agree with you, including the people that think that fights are fixed. What makes you think that there's not a possibility that that fight was fixed?
There is a possibility, but how big is it? That's the thing. How you know what I mean? Like, how big? It could have been all of them. You know,
it doesn't matter how big it is. All it takes is 1% of it to be right, and that's it.
Well, no, because it's
kind of like a hush hush, wink wink. We know you kind of know what you're supposed to know what we intend to do, but we're not gonna tell you do it. Okay, we pay off the judges one way or another. We get them like these fancy hotel rooms. You get another assignment in the future. Shakur Stevenson, he's the heir apparent. You know, he was already anointed since a long time ago because he got the smile. I might have to hit pause on this. You know, because he got the smile from ear to ear. He got the fucking dimple. Supposedly, that's the face of boxing, like Oscar De La Hoya. But actually, to some people, it's a piece of shit grin. But yeah, it exudes confidence. And Americans, they fucking cook on that shit. Look at the kid with the white smile and shit like that. You know, the defensive prowess. But he got exposed. He got exposed.
That's it. And by the way,
with the smile that can light up a room.
Hold on, Gypsy. The Wilder versus
exactly. I don't know if he threw that fight. I'm not going to say that. But even if he did, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, that he did throw that fight. I'm talking about De Los Santos and Shakur.
Right.
He still won, in my opinion. He still won the fight.
Yeah, I don't think he threw it. I think he won that fight.
Makes sense. Like, a lot of people had it a draw, and so it's a terrible. So you paid for the guy to throw the fight, and you're not getting your money back. Basically, well, you almost didn't get your money back because that guy wasn't even like he even almost won the fight. But let's say that because Shakur, it doesn't matter. My point is this: if you look at, for example, Wilder versus Malik Scott, you can tell it's fake, right? Because it's so badly choreographed. And so if we had more fake fights in boxing, then we would be seeing more.
Did you tell Canelo versus Julio Chavez was also fake as fuck too?
What the fuck?
That was fake as fuck.
Jesus
Christ! That was fake, man. Bro. Like he didn't get it. He didn't get into.
I'm talking. This guy's interrupting me. Anyways. So I was saying, if Malik Scott versus Wilder looked fake as fuck, and if more
that was a bad one,
and if more fights in boxing were fake, then we would be seeing more of these fuck ups, right? It's likely. It's likely that we will be seeing more fuck ups, but that we don't even see.
We have seen them.
So that would mean another two up. You mean like dives, right?
That would
usually people take dives.
One guy died. He said, "I'm not coming. I'm not coming to win the fight. I'm gonna go down." There's some guys that they dive other ways. I'm not gonna fight back. I'm not gonna fight back.
The thing is, though, like you said, but in your own breath, you're saying you think he won the fight. So imagine you paid this kid $500,000, and he fights you to where a lot of people think he won. That's crazy, man.
And the thing is,
listen. Right? That's when James Prince would probably have him killed. No, I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying, like with Malik Scott, you could see that he definitely took a dive. I think honestly, I think he wasn't.
You know what I'm gonna
think they didn't like the power and just checked out early. This is what I'm gonna
say. You know what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna watch that fight again because it was brought to my attention by Gypsy, right? Somebody that I don't always agree with, but I enjoy his boxing take. I'm gonna see if I see what he sees. Because when I looked at it, maybe I wasn't paying attention, right? But what I saw was a guy who was being rewarded for doing absolutely nothing, okay? And the other guy being penalized for not knocking him out. That's what I saw. And in my opinion, he still won the fight. Now,
just watch fight film. Just watch his take. That's
the
all
thing,
I
though.
don't watch the fight simply. Watch his take and how he slows down the fucking shit and he'll.
but that's not how.
I watch
when
the
you,
fight.
Yeah, but
If you're watching fight film and you take him serious, you're fucking stupid, dog.
I mean, at
No,
this
I
point,
don't
I mean,
take
at
him
this
serious,
point,
bro.
most-
But
I disagree with that. I think he gets some. I think he gets certain
Some
things right.
points
But
he's
what I'm
right.
gonna
Yeah.
do, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch the fight itself. No, I never take nobody's word for it. I don't take. I don't.
Okay. Well, go
as
check
much
it
as
out.
I-
Recognize. Go.
As much as I like everybody in here, I don't take their word for it. I don't.
Go check
I don't
it
think-
out.
How
Go
dare
check.
you.
Go check
How
out
dare
the
you.
fight. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Buccio.
Do I have to
Yeah.
use my phone? I'll go use my phone if you guys can hear me. Yeah, go check it out. Listen, it's Fight Film is the one who made this. Gypsy watched it. He got convinced. I mean, he's been posting a bunch of fake fights now, apparently a lot of them. So it's like, okay, well, go check it out. I'm just saying, like, from what I've saw, I mean, sure, I can watch it again, slow motion it, and see, well, here he could have thrown this punch over here. Oh, he could have done this. He could have done that when you pause it. But when you're fighting, sometimes the thoughts are going extremely quickly. You don't have time sometimes to think, like, what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. But anyways, point is, go check it out. Go check it out. Go check it out. Now, I'm saying when it's a fake fight, usually you're gonna see major fuck ups, and
I know that, Bucho. I know that slow mo shit is that's a thing, bro. Like
you know what that sounds like, bro? No, look, you know what that shit sounds like, bro? When someone says he could have hit him here, he could have hit him there. That sounds like someone who's never been in a fucking fight. It's like, just knock him out. What are you waiting for? You could have punched him there. You could have punched him here.
Yeah,
that sounds like someone who has never been in a fucking fight.
Slowing the fight down to 10% speed and saying, "Oh, you could have done this, could have done that."
Well, of course.
No, that's not.
But I think this okay. Even though I agree with that,
He could have just done it right there. Nah, bro.
I know what you guys are saying.
I agree. Sometimes people over exaggerate because there's so much corruption in this world in sports in general. But I also share this sentiment. When people say, "Prove to me," or "You're a conspiracy theory," what you're asking me is to give you the answer. What I'm giving you is my analysis. We talk boxing, right?
Yeah, but
If
let's just be honest. I believe in conspiracy theories when it comes to like 9/11 and stuff like that. So
absolutely, but no.
I mean, so it's like I'm not. But at the same time, I don't
there's
believe
a lot
flat
of.
Earth,
But you got to admit, Bucho, there are a lot of people that love the sport or love something, an institution, that they can't even fathom the possibility that there are fights or sporting events that are actually rigged.
No, I know, and I agree.
They
And
can't
I'm with
imagine
you.
that kind of shit,
Yeah,
bro.
I don't think any boxing fan thinks like that.
I think
No, there's
everybody
a lot
knows that
that
they've
do,
been
bro.
fixed fights, though.
A lot.
I think when it comes to fandomhood,
A lot.
yes, I think there's a lot of people that won't want to believe that maybe their favorite fighter could have been involved in a fixed fight.
They'll take a blind eye for their fighter, but not for the sport.
Well, hold on, but recognize. You also agree that there's people who see corruption in everything and the conspiracy theories.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Right.
And that's also bad too. That's also bad.
I agree
because
with you
What you're doing is
right there. That what you just said, Bucho. That's precise. I am not that person. That's precise. Precise looks at everything that it would well, you got to question everything, but he looks at it as like conspiracy, everything. But sometimes the man ain't far from the truth. Sometimes, you can it's like saying you're wrong all the time. Eventually, you're gonna catch me when I'm wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Eventually, you're gonna catch me wrong. And I'm telling you,
I just find it odd that it's always the fixed fight on the ones that he doesn't predict right.
Well,
when he misses his prediction, then it's a fixed fight. But when the prediction goes right, then it wasn't a fixed fight.
He said Joe Joyce was fixed. Was again.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
Yeah, I know, bro. He's lost his mind in that sense. But this one, even before I saw this video, I'm talking about live when I watched the fight live, because I have doubts when it comes to these two, Tank and Shakur, and even Haney. But Haney's fights are for real. I'll never question it. Tank, because of the dehydration clause and how he threatened Ryan, all this shit, bro. I have doubts whether their fights are legit or they're just fucking bullshit.
Gypsy, I'll give you this though.
Gypsy, another guy that hit the guy on the nuts multiple times, didn't get called out for it, bro.
Gypsy, I'll give you this though. I'll give you this, Gypsy. This fight was so boring that I can understand why maybe. You might think he was fixed because he was. It's an abnormal.
It was fixed.
We don't get this type of fights all the time. It was an anomaly. It was extremely boring. Extremely
That's why.
boring.
That's another
So-
reason why. But plus,
Okay,
when I can say this. Never sobers. Let me say this because I wanted to say this and I kept saying something else instead of this. He Santos, when they started to ring the bell for the first round, his trainer or whoever, somebody came up to him, said something to his ear, and the reaction that I got from that moment is like he didn't like what he said. He shook his head and he was like, "Fuck, what the fuck? You're not gonna do this?" Like, okay, fine, I'll do it. That's what it looked like. Okay.
I like that.
Bro, I was like, I'm okay. Jimmy don't believe it, but Jimmy ain't gonna believe shit anyways. So
what's that?
when it
No,
comes to-
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
You're not gonna believe it. But I'm telling you, bro.
I didn't even say nothing, though.
Who was the one snoring and shit? Probably Bucho. I don't know. Whatever, bro. I'm just telling you that shit happened. Look at it. Like the first round, when the guy comes up to him, whether his coach or I don't know what he was, his cut man or something like that. I don't know who the guy was who came up to him and told him. Like, yeah, fuck, I gotta do this.
Stop it, bro. Check it out. The fight was fixed in the sense that there was no way that Santos was gonna get a decision. The fight was already fixed in that sense, but no one went to Santos and told him, "Don't go in there and don't do shit." You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but what makes you think that?
I don't know that either way.
If they didn't tell him, Santos would have knocked his ass out. What makes you think that wouldn't have happened?
I gotta watch that fight again. I'm gonna watch it
They
again.
knew the fight's gonna go to decision, right? If Santos uses his jab the entire time, this fight's gonna. But if the Santos doesn't use his jab and uses his left, also with the jab, it's curtains for Shakur. That's why they're like, oh, don't do that.
The reason why,
Come on, bro.
The reason why I say,
man. I mean,
the reason why I say this is possible. You're dealing with the human element. Sometimes you just don't know. You don't know. You want to prop up a certain fighter, and sometimes you need securities like a rigged scorecard, a rigged referee. I know it's hard to believe, but that's what happens. Yes, it does. Okay, we talk about it every day.
But recognize, everybody here believes it's possible to fix a fight. I mean, we've seen fixed.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It is.
Now,
but the thing is,
there's also fights that could have been fixed that you don't know were fixed.
Well, yeah, but that's.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, but we're talking
about. What do you mean? What am I talking about? You don't know it's fixed.
Well, nobody knows. Then at the end of the day, nobody's gonna fucking know. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the point. I'm not saying that the fight was fixed. I said that the judging, and the referee. Here's the key point. In my opinion, was rigged. In my opinion,
right?
They were rigged.
Of course.
Okay. Does that make that already a fixed fight? That's already a fixed fight.
Yes. That's already a fixed fight.
Yes.
Now, am I going to take the route that it's impossible that they went up to De Los Santos or whatever and said, "Listen, of course it is. Of course it's possible."
Yes.
Look, I guarantee if Tank fights Shakur, okay, and Tank's the A side, they're gonna favor more the aggressive style. Now, with Shakur being the A side against De Los Santos, they're gonna favor the backfoot fighter more. So just that within itself is already kind of rigged in favor of the favorite.
Well, who do you guys? Let me ask you guys this: De Los Santos with PBC. He's 135 pounds, same as Shakur. They haven't announced his next opponent, his next pay-per-view. A lot of people, including myself, was thinking Isaac Cruz. Could it be De Los Santos? And if it is, who do you pick to win that fight?
De Los Santos and who?
Tank Davis. The best on PBC.
Oh no, Tank Davis? Oh, man.
Tank
Davis.
Tank, yeah. I'll probably go Tank.
Tank.
I don't know. Who knows? A different style.
I like Santos. I like Santos, man. I want him to win. I think he'll probably pull it off. But with the fixed thing, but I told you between Tank and Shakur, there's a lot of fixed shit going on. And I'll just go Tank and end it because if it's a real fight, I'll just go with Santos. But I don't think it's gonna be real. I don't think it's gonna be real.
Now you know something else. We knew that De Los Santos got power, but now you know he can keep it poised together and he's not gonna lose his shit. So he's a very
you know who's gonna be.
He's a very educated. He's got some ring generalship.
You know, Gonzalo. You know who's gonna get the A side treatment if they were to ever fight? and I'm gonna give you why they would be the ace. This is just my opinion. It's something that I've been picking up on. If Tank was to fight either Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, they will both be the A side over Tank. You know why that is?
No.
I'll give you my reason. I'll give you my quick reason. Okay, because those guys cannot afford a loss. They have nothing. Tank could knock people out. He has something. So if the fight's close, and you know, and one guy's the aggressor, the other guy's just basically there to survive and win that way, they're gonna give it to that guy because Tank is not gonna lose any fans, whatever fans he has, because he'd still be a knockout. You know, he's still considered a knockout artist.
Possibly. I really think there's only room for maybe one superstar of boxing once Canelo leaves. Kind of like when Mayweather was on the top, there was him and basically nobody else really close to him. That's the thing. There's too many wannabe superstars nowadays, especially in the same fucking division. That's why they don't want to face each other. And a lot of times, well, I was gonna say like when like a guy like Crawford, he becomes undisputed. He'll drop a belt and they'll give it to another guy. That way, that won't fight each other. But then one guy lives to fight another day while remaining undefeated, while the other guy gets another opportunity to. And a lot of times they don't want to have it to where one guy gets canceled out.
Buccio,
for some reason or another.
But Buccio, that didn't make any sense by the IBF because he was contracted to fight Earl Spence. Now, if he fought Earl Spence in a rematch and wins, then they should make that fight mandatory. And if he doesn't fight it, then strip the belt.
Joe, it don't even matter. He's not going to fight at 147 ever again. So why are you guys even worried about this shit? He's not going to do that.
I'm just saying, if you're going to do it right. That's all.
Yeah, Joe, they might as well face each other until they're at welterweight, really. And that's if they really try to control the narrative until the very end. But that's going to set for boxing in general.
They didn't give Earl Spence a mandatory for 3 fucking years. When he had the IBF. The IBF used to be the best when it came to mandatories.
Well, but that's if the PBC is out of the picture, I hope we don't get none of this shit again, like for the next 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah,
Joe's 100% right. Fucking the IBF, 3 years and 1 month, they didn't mandate him to fight. Fucking Crawford has the belt for 130 days, and they strip him. That was some fucked up shit, man.
Yeah, they should have done that. They should have done the mandatory for Earl Spence with Boots Ennis, but they never did.
Especially when they know he signed it, he had a mandatory. He had a rematch, and Spence activated it. Once you sign a contract and the guy activates the mandatory, you can't. I've never seen, put it this way, this is the first time I've ever seen a belt get pulled in this manner, meaning a guy has a fight, and he has a mandatory, and then the guy activates, your opponent activates, it means you are legally mandated, contracted to fight that dude next. And then in the meantime, the belt, another sanction body pulls it from a unified champion. So you want me to like get a lawsuit? I can't legally. I'm bound to fight Spence. I can't fight. Fucking what's his name? Boots. And Boots, man, I have lost. Listen, I still think he's talented, but my fucking respect for this kid, shit that's come out of his mouth lately. It's like, know what it is? They count on their fans to be low information. Their education on boxing is a Twitter thread. Like they have no idea. They don't know anything about the history of what happened. Like how, if you wanted Crawford so bad, why did you keep fighting in IBF mandatories when Crawford had the WBO? Why did you turn down the fucking fight and say, nope, I'm loyal to Showtime? Right? When Crawford offered you an opportunity to fight him and you said, no, I'm loyal to Showtime. And then after all that, then turn around. In fact, his father blew up his spot too, admitted they did that. Now to turn around and act like Crawford's docking you, dude, it's just disingenuous, it's phony, and it's a Twitter boxer, dude. Why did they mandate Spence to fight Boots Ennis?
Right.
Why did they do that? Right when he had it for fucking 3 years.
Sorry to cut you guys off.
Sorry to cut you guys off. Fighter out of all of them is Terrence Crawford.
Joe, I'll give you my theory why. I'll give you my theory why. It's the same reason that last minute Spence will not fight Bud Crawford in a rematch. It's not going to happen. The whole rematch thing was for this. It was in the case that Bud crashes this dude, which is what happened. Okay, not only that he lost, he got thrashed. Right? We're gonna take the rematch clause, put him in a bind where the IBF gets taken away and it stays in house with Boots Ennis. That's all that was about.
Listen, I agree with you this time. Recognize 100%. I think if there was anything shady there, because think about it. I think Heyman knows that Crawford's not going to stay there. He has one more fight left with Heyman, and that's it. Think about it. He was ready to walk in. He's going to take away Crawford's golden goose, like the welterweight championship. Heyman has had that under fucking thumb since the PBC launched in 2015. And Crawford was about to walk out the door with all the belts, leaving him with none. So I think he wanted one of those belts back.
Exactly. You think seriously. Let's be honest. You think after what happened to Spence against Crawford, you think a rematch is gonna make any difference? What? Maybe he gets knocked out.
I heard they're gonna rematch at 147 again, right?
Well, that's what Pud said. He said he wants to make it a 147. I think he was being told.
How could they strip him?
That's what I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense.
I don't understand
it. Doesn't make sense. Which
the
makes me think that Heyman wanted that belt.
The rematch clause, to me, I'm telling you, the rematch clause was the setup, right? The worst case scenario happened for PBC, but they had a backup plan. The worst case scenario was Spence is not that good and he gets really beat the fuck out of. So we'll just say we want a rematch clause so that way the IBF strips him and that belt stays in-house. Like you said, he's had it since the beginning of his for lack of a better word, bullshit, right? Since he's been promoting.
Guys,
sorry to cut you guys off. Jimmy, sorry to cut you off. Bucho, you have me as Andrade decision. It's not like that. Fix it. Benavidez by 10th round stoppage. Now, brother.
You keep changing it.
With that fucking decision.
Yeah. You keep
change it, Bucho. Please.
No. You know what, Gypsy? I'm gonna wait because you keep like flip-flopping.
No, I didn't flip-flop. I've never really flip-flopped. It's the first time I've changed my mind, bro. Come on. Change it back to where it is at. Benavidez by 9th round stoppage.
All right.
Put it down.
And I gotta say too, Spence, another thing what pisses me off, the PBC was trying to make the Canelo fight. Remember, they did everything they could not to make the Crawford fight. And Crawford, that's why he publicly went over to his corner and said, if it wasn't for you, this fight wouldn't happen. Because he was in on the meetings. Al Heyman was doing everything in his power not to make the Spence fight. From going to leaking phone calls to fucking announcing that he was trying to make the Canelo fight. Remember, that was the thing. They were talking about Spence fighting Canelo. On top of that, remember they were trying to feed him, and then it was, Spence is going up to 154 to fight Crawford. To fight Thurman. And even then, the WBC, why wouldn't the WBC say, whoa, wait a minute. You haven't done a fucking mandatory in 3 years, and you're going up to a fight Crawford, Thurman, and you don't even lose your belts? You're doing it in a weight class, your belts won't even be on the line? No, fuck that. They wouldn't have let that happen. That's why
the fans gave him so much shit for that, and then they pulled back that fight, remember?
Yep.
The fans went nuts, and then they
remember
canceled
WBC
that fight.
scumbag Mario Suleiman, when they asked him, he should have put his foot down when they said, Mario, if Spence goes up to fight Thurman at 154, you're not going to let him keep the belt, right? Or that's not going to be a sanctioned fight. We'll see. You couldn't even come clean. You couldn't even there say, well, of course I'm not going to sanction it because it's at 154. He's the 157-pound champion because he was thinking about his cut. And then he's so offended. You see the statement he said this week? You see the shit he put out this week? What's that?
Jimmy, is it possible that what's his name? Errol Spence had paid the WBC more than Terrence Crawford ever would?
Well, they all pay. That's the thing. They all pay money. It's supposed to be
more than usual.
Well, of course that's what's happening. It's clear that's what's happening. The BBC's been paying Suleiman. All right, Jamal, He didn't fight going on 3 years. They never even talked about taking his belt.
That is such a joke. That's such a joke.
Wilder.
Yeah.
He never fucking fought mandatories. They never mandatored anybody for him.
And he's the number 1 ranked WBC fighter. How the fuck can he be ranked number 1?
That happened, exactly. He come off 2 fucking knockouts. 2 knockout losses, and they kept him at number 1. So listen, without a doubt. And Suleiman is a fucking. Did you see what he said this week? Come out against Ring Magazine. That big. You guys hear it? Well, go check it out after his little fucking diatribe he spewed about the Ring Magazine. About the Ring Magazine belt has no integrity. Blah blah blah. Like he's so angry because. They're just showing his fucking contentment for the sport. It's a non-profit organization. The guy's worth $40 million.
Yeah, he's the biggest weasel in boxing. He's one of the biggest weasels in boxing.
Every time you fight in a WB sanctioned fight, he's getting a slice of that. Big money.
3%.
$500,000, some cases. In his pocket. I mean, what does it take to run that non-profit?
You got to cut out of the Jake Paul the Fury fight. That bullshit YouTube fight. You got to cut. He made a belt for that.
The first thing he did, to all the other belts, fucking credit. The first thing he did was he ranked Ngannou in the top 10 to get a slice the next time he boxes. He's such a weasel. Listen, there's 3 people: the guy at the WBC who does the ranking, Suleiman, and his secretary. And think about all the money that non-profit. What does that even mean, a non-profit? So where's the money going? That means they're all paying. That means they're paying themselves in salary. Because the non-profit in New York just recently got blown up. They talked about it. Took in $800,000, but after paying everybody's salary in the non-profit, they had 8% left over.
It's such a joke. Most of these non-profits are fucking scams. That's what they all are.
Guys, we have a super chat from Jane L. Thank you for your super chat. He says, put me down for 11th round stoppage for Benavidez. Boo-Boo won't have that gas tank to keep Benavidez off him. All right, I already wrote down your prediction. And guys, I got to go. We've been here for almost 3 hours, but I want to thank you for being on the show, all right? We'll see you tomorrow.
You have a good night, friend.
Yeah, thanks for having us, pal.
Take care. Everybody in the chat, thank you for being on the show. Don't forget to hit the like button, please, if you enjoyed the show. And I think we're going to have a show tomorrow. Mr. BDA will be hosting, all right? So, having said that, have a good night. See ya.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in everyone. Disappointed in everyone.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in everyone.
Let me tell you what.